I'm loving the daily thunderstorms, though. It's like Florida, basically. You get that 2 hours of downpour.
I think in general, it's like Florida, but more Florida.
It's like Florida, but they don't hate foreigners as much.
They both have a meth problem.
Never heard the phrase "that Thai guy," or a Florida man. And I'm sure that even they know about the Florida man.
Well, we've got the squad here. You had just finished questioning the one who called himself Lokshur, the paladin of Sofa, and you find yourselves in the monastery with many prisoners, and I don't know if you have any idea about what you want to do next. I know Safine had some notions.
About... what was I doing over here? Oh, I was going to talk with the dead and shit. I wrote all of that down in America. What I was going to ask. Give me 3 seconds so I can jot that down out of the back of my head, because I know 3 of the questions that I was going to ask.
Which corpse are we questioning?
The one of the cultist who was shot.
Yeah.
At the meeting.
Oh, the priest dude. Yeah, they kept talking shit, and then Jadaji's just like, haha, fuck no, bitch.
Where was... Oh, we don't have the corpse of the one who was in charge of the cultists at the temple, right? But we don't... Oh, we do? No. I meant the guy that tried to do the insurgency. Someone can add.
No.
Arenther seems to have been disposed of in some fashion since the time you left the
and Cat couldn't figure out how.
The monastery.
His brains are on the bottom of Kusok's boot right now.
Can you speak with the dead on brains?
You know, we can ask Kusok if he kept anything. I don't know what the warforged do, man.
I think you can get 5 questions. It'll set.
Tell you guys, gluten-free Oreos, not bad.
Wow. Gluten-free and also vegan, I believe.
Water?
Oreos.
You're right.
Man, Mark, I think you should go full American, just shave the side of your heads, and go full mullet.
No, that's not. You shouldn't do that at all.
You could be
No.
a country star in Thailand.
What?
I've got this already, but I don't need to. Yeah, I don't need the mullet.
Gotta get let the party in the back row, man.
I'll do it.
What's it called? I was hanging out with it sounds really bad. Hanging out at the massage parlor next door. But legit place.
Fucking around, man.
No, dude, it was like one of the best ones I've ever had in 15 years. It was like the perfect amount of like actually working it versus killing me.
Yeah.
There's
really no.
But yeah, they wanted to braid my hair. I was like, no.
You should have let them, man. That shit would have been so fucking tight.
That's the thing. Like I keep on pulling back on this, and I'm ripping out the hair with just the thing. But anyway, I do have at least 3 questions that I can ask right now, and then I think it will spitball into more. So I am going to cast Speak with Dead. I want to make sure I have his slots. Let's see. I know I have at least one third level. Yep. Okay. Use my last third level and going to cast Speak with Dead.
Okay. And you've got the head, I believe, of a
Shake it
dead.
like a magic ball.
Yeah, shake it up, and you cast it. Go ahead and throw that spell up for me, just for reference.
Oh yes, of course.
Should have called it cocktail hour.
Okay. You cast Cadaver Chit Chat.
Okay. And as that head comes to life and begins to groan, I'm gonna look down at it and say, I have a lot of questions. Mainly around how are you going to bring them back? Did you have a way that's known? I want to say like a known spell, but I don't want to say it like so meta. Of a known way. A regular way of bringing them back.
Trying to think about how the corpse would respond to that question. It's a little vague.
Basically, then doing it's like this, the magic that you plan to bring back the warforged. I'll start with this question first. Is it divine in nature?
The mouth kind of works itself open. It drops down and then begins to sort of crack a little bit as the jaw resets itself. And the lips take a few seconds. They're stiff in death, but they are starting to loosen up a little bit. And then finally, magic is of the most divine sort.
Is the magic you use readily available to other casters, or just your cult?
Our gifts are not shared lightly.
What is the cost of casting such a spell?
The costs are great. 10 to 1 for blood.
even more for bone.
Can the warforged truly be resurrected in this way?
Such a simple mind from Xantum. There is no need for resurrection.
I think he's talking shit, Sophie.
And-
it means the awakening. They told us that they awakened.
Right. I was gonna say,
Or no, ascending. That's what it was.
I'm getting some Full Metal Alchemist vibes right now. Daddy? And the last one, unless anybody's here, see, I went off on my own, so if anybody has in-game things, and my last one was going to be and once the warforged went through this process with this conversion, would they retain their awakened personality or become something different or more?
To ascend is to become more by its very nature. To ascend is to reach closer to the dead divine.
And that's 5. Putting humans in a box and using philosopher's stone. Okay. I'll stand up and bring it with me. And I don't know, what are you guys doing in the other room here?
I would have just walked back in.
I'm pretty sure Naz is still punching innocent people. And Kat's just like watching with a cup of tea or something like that.
I'm gonna walk back. This one really wasn't forthcoming in death. Maybe we have to torture them in life.
Wait, what? What are we doing?
Oh, I talked to this one in death and talked a lot about the amount of life to convert, to do their process, 10 to 1 for blood, more for bone.
Let me see.
I'm
1, 2,
no,
4,
I'm
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Where the other 2? 3? No? Am I on the wrong track here? Why else to bring in all these other people that don't know anything or don't do anything? Just wait around, and you seem to have a right amount. No?
I was told my methods were petty
No.
and the magic of children, so to say.
I know.
So bad news. I'm guessing they don't have diamonds on them.
No. I don't, where are we going with this, Safine? What are we doing? Where's everyone? What's going on?
I'm guessing they convert raw life force, murder multiple innocents for one conversion. Not quite sure, and I don't think pain is going to be the type of torture that elicits the information.
And I don't think any of these people have the information we seek. I think Ryland had a pretty good time with one of the knights. No, Ryland?
Oh yeah, I made pretty good friends with Lockshow.
But I will say, in the future, they seem really attached to the divine magic. And maybe removing that or cutting that off or withholding that from them will prove far more motivating
You got them
when it
off
comes
from
to
their
questioning.
god. You cut them off from their god, and there's incentive. Yes,
Well, I mean,
I see what you're saying.
Cat's basically carrying around their god with them.
I am.
You have that piece of that rock, right? Don't you?
And she's gonna take the rock out of her pocket and look at it.
Yeah, that's
Are
what
you a
Right.
Are you a god?
they use that
Little piece of rock.
they turn it into the sacrament.
Oh my god! I licked it. I licked it. Their god.
Good for an iron supplement.
I think that I committed sacrilege without knowing it.
I still think you would
It's
do it
malicious.
if you knew it.
It was very soyeni, but it wasn't very good. Uh, so, what now? What is our next step? We've gotten all the information we could out of all these people.
Well, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with Jadaji and the Warforged, and we gotta also make a trip over to the ghostlight.
Right. I think ghostlight is probably the priority. But what also do with the prisoners?
They're the Warforged prisoners, they're not ours.
You're referring to the monks at the cults.
The cultists.
Okay.
I don't
I didn't know if you meant.
still.
Well, I didn't know if you meant like prisoner, as in you were using the word former prisoner because we, up until last session they were.
No, I mean the ones we just interrogated and or.
No, I think.
I am inclined to let the lower ones go. They are but pawns in this mess. Maybe string a few of the priests up by their organs or whatever outside the temple as a warning. I don't know. I'm going to take your
Agrees.
silence as a tacit yes.
I would take Ryland's idea at best, and I think Jadaji and his people know what's best, and they are aware of, be mindful of the casters.
Okay. I mean,
But
in terms
the
of
dead ones I have use for.
Oh, okay. But in terms of what to do with Jadaji and the Warforged, are we teleporting them out of here? Can we do? Is that the thing we can do?
I was thinking we need to take some of these cultists with us to report back. We don't need all of them, but they're gonna want somebody they can interrogate on their own.
Right.
And for the Warforged, I was thinking maybe they'd like to learn farming. Maybe we could teleport them somewhere where we could set them up with a place that they could hide out, learn how to farm, learn how to be peaceful.
Okay.
Because I mean, if I feel like if they try to just leave the region on their own, then we haven't really helped Jinaji like we said we would. But in order to help him, he probably needs a place to go where they won't be caught or harassed. I don't know. That's just what I was thinking.
not only
far
is
enough away where they won't be harassed or used for war.
Exactly.
and not only that, but there's a need for food right now, and having a group of people who don't rest or eat the food that they grow, they'll have great means to trade that and build something of their own.
Where would you suggest they give food to? Who needs food? We all need food, but
We all need food, but they don't. If we're
no, I
teaching
mean
people to be farmers, the warforged don't eat.
it sounds like you're implying a location. I'm asking about the location.
Location?
Yes. If we need, who needs food? I don't know. Everyone needs food.
Everybody.
Well, I think it's mostly about, do any of us have a connection or have access to a location where we could get them set up on like a remote farm, you know, without, because like, even if we teleport them somewhere, right? Like, if we just march down the street with a bunch of warforged, it's gonna
Right.
look weird. Like, we're gonna need someone with a connection that can like set these guys up with a hidey hole, you know?
Maybe
And
they-
them might
um,
go to know an island in her little area over there where they could go, or maybe we can talk to.
Maybe they're
to,
the Fey Queen has a use for them.
The lunapor.
Cat can tell about that.
Maybe they can set them up in the untamed land somewhere.
That could be an option. And if they don't mind the cold, Anthony, does the Melnikov family own land?
It certainly seemed like they did. Didn't
pretty
you
sh-
create an entire map for them?
I did. I'm pretty sure they probably have some place in the woods. We probably have some untamed land somewhere.
Okay, well that could work, but before we get too excited, do we even have an easy way to get them there? Like,
Hmm.
I guess now's a good time to ask what are the actual teleportation circles that Seven
are
has written
available.
down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of thought we might end up doing some of this session, so that's fine. So we can zoom out for a second. We'll zoom way out, and we'll talk kind of on a meta level. But we assume that the Eye has some sort of headquarters, but then it kind of sounded like their organization might be a little more diffused into different areas. Is that
Yeah,
sound
I mean, I
accurate?
imagine they have different like like sites like different colleges or something, right?
Right.
Different locations, but I mean, I don't know how. I mean, probably Seven has not been to all of those, right?
Right. Do you actually need to be to the teleportation circles to be able to use them, or is that just a
You just have to have the sigil sequence recorded. I guess the spell says that. I mean, I can link it, but the spell basically suggests that when you learn this spell, you would have already prepared a few different sigil locations that you know of.
right?
But it doesn't say you don't actually visit them. You just need to have the sigils recorded, I guess.
Okay. I know we've been kind of loosey goosey on this, so I think now would be a good time to set some things in stone. Do you, as part of kind of thinking about your faction that you're designing here, do you at the moment have any particular attachment to the eye being in any specific region based on what you know of them so far?
No, they're kind of a neutral. They're not a political faction. They're more intellectual mercenaries, I suppose. Like a
Intellectual
well, I don't know.
mercenary.
I'm just trying to think. Like, probably. I'm imagining it's like a university where you probably have students that attended from multiple, empires or countries or whatever, right? So I mean,
Right.
I'm guessing that they're not. Like I don't think of the eye as like wherever it's located. It's probably not like it doesn't. It's not like strongly associated with a political group.
Okay. Well, in that case, here's what I'm going to do. I don't have the most up to date version of the map on Roll20, so I'm just going to share my screen for a second in Discord. You can look at it right in Adobe Illustrator here, where I've got it
Ooh,
open.
fancy.
I think this should work okay. Of course, it is in 720, so it will be a little fuzzy, but go. So I'm thinking that based on what you're saying, perhaps the headquarters, and this isn't necessarily the only place where the eye is, has a presence, but I'm thinking of putting their headquarters actually down here on this continent. The Jakia is the continent, and there is a region here that I've kind of been eyeing called Tandkus that is a sort of much more built up and sort of cosmopolitan nation in general. Yeah, of course, there's large sprawling cities in many places, but I see Tandkus as kind of being very, very developed compared to many of the other nations around it, and even compared to like a lot of the stuff on Wandon where you guys are. So I like you're saying that they don't have strong political affiliations. They're kind of outside of a lot of what's happening here. I feel like physically putting them outside of that region would also make sense.
Yeah. Oh, good.
All right, so we'll say that you've got a sigil which leads you to. We'll put them in the capital city of Tandkus, and besides that, let's see. We introduced you somewhere in the Empire of the Four Winds, conducting your research there.
Yeah, I mean, like, probably any major trade hubs or capitals, might be like. I mean, if there's not, like, unless you want to pick like two other locations for the eye that I know, like, then it would make sense that he knew like some temples or something, or
Right.
whatever.
I imagine that there is a as of yet unnamed capital city at the heart of the Empire of the Four Winds, which is, in the traditional sense, well, in the tradition of fantasy, it's very large, very, very large indeed. And to me, that's like a very central location. It would make a lot of sense for you to have access to be able to get into the empire from like the very heart of it. And I think the eye would definitely keep the sort of what are they called again? What did you say they were? The whatever the sigils that you need to access. They
Yeah,
would essentially
it's a
keep the passcode to get in there.
right. They're essentially for permanent teleportation circles,
Right.
like a sigil sequence. And I guess in the spell it mentions that, like, major things like palaces,
Temples.
temples, etc. would
Right.
would sometimes have one of these, right?
Okay. So the eye probably keeps track of a good number of sigil sequences, but I think I don't want to dictate too much of where you have. If there's anywhere in particular you want to say I want to have a key, I want to have a sigil sequence to get into the Xantam Empire, or to get somewhere else completely different. That's fine with me. But I can see it making a lot of sense, especially with the way that the eye operates, for them to want to have access to the sequence for a temple somewhere in the Empire, and I don't know where else at the moment. It could easily see. We can even like save one in reserve if you want to call it out later and be like, that one. I've got a sigil sequence to there.
The Melnikov vodka
Oh boy, where are your Melnikovs located?
Up in the far northwest.
They're up in this general region.
You're the Fey Queen.
What is a Lornfar?
Um,
Is that
Lornfar, yeah. So the you're looking at sort of the in general the continent of Mitria here. There are a bunch of kind of smaller kingdoms here. They're not really confederated in any way, um, and there could definitely be an option to get you up there. There's a lot of uh, feudal lords in that region and kings. Um,
The fantasy Serbs, the fantasy Croatians, all the Slavs live up there, basically.
I will say that Lornfar obviously has a name on the map at the moment, but Lornfar is probably one of the places that you actually, the eye would not have good access to.
okay? Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, then outside of the Empire of the Four Winds, like what countries could you see often wanting to either send people to study at the eye or would want to hire consultants from the eye for things like optimizing trade routes, merchant guild kind of things. They generally do that kind of. Basically, if someone with a pair of spectacles does it, the eye probably trains them.
I like that. Yeah, so I could see them. Definitely places like that would be Empire of the Isles for sure. They do a tremendous amount of trading at being an island nation, and they kind of run the seaways all through the inner sea, the Gulf of Mist. Um, I could also see, I mean, for that matter, you guys are already in the river kingdoms. I could see you having access to any of the major nations here, somewhere in Lunapor or in the any of. Oops, let me get rid of the. I think this is blocking. There we go.
Yeah,
Any
I
of
mean,
the kind of major nations along the northern half here.
given
Does
that
Ryland's Temple have one?
Sorry, what?
Does Ryland's Temple have one? Like that's kind of central, and I'm not saying like put it there, but like they probably would have let you know about it before they sent us off as an option.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Ryland's temple. What does it take to create an actual teleportation circle? Let me think about
Right.
that.
I know the Safine's Empire would have one, but
Oh, Xantum
you
would
can
definitely have many. That would.
create one using the spell I have. You have to cast it every day for a year on the same spot.
Okay. And it's a what level spell? Fourth, fifth,
Fifth.
fifth level. Okay, so it takes a pretty.
that's
A
resource
pretty-
heavy.
That's pretty resource heavy. And what sort of components does it require?
All right, man.
Okay,
Why don't you?
teleportation.
No, it requires rare chalks and inks infused with precious gems worth 50 gold pieces, which the spell consumes.
Okay, so it does require a very considerable gold
1,800
investment.
gold or so. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of time, and somebody who can spare a spell slot every day. So it's not infeasible for there to be a circle there at Ryland's Temple, especially since it is kind of fairly well established. It's been there for quite a while.
Preference of everyone. If anyone ever had wanted to come and establish a circle there, they would have allowed it.
They would have allowed it.
Mhm.
Okay, permanent teleportation circle.
Also, it doesn't need to be the same person, does it? It just needs to be the same spell. Like 5 people could rotate.
Right.
It's unclear. The spell is not that specific. It's the last
Yeah.
paragraph there that I posted.
You think you could, like a group of mages being like, hey, we're all going to give up, if there's 7 of us, we're each 1 day a week, we're going to give up our 5th level.
Send
Yeah,
pretty
it's-
likely to me that I would have sent someone to the monastery to help us and like study and figure out everything about the.
Well, here's the interesting bit, is that it is not necessarily such magic is not necessarily associated with the divine, right? It is a bard, sorcerer, wizard spell, so it's clearly solidly in the realm of arcane magic, which means that somebody would have come in from the outside to put a circle there, and on top of that, you would require some sort of wizard or sorcerer on the scene just to use the circle. So it's not as if the normal monks or clerics or anything who are present there are even able to use that kind of magic unless they've taken time to study up to 9th level as a wizard. So
Now that you mention it, Father Morton had some secrets.
Father Morton.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not opposed to a circle being there, but it might be something where it doesn't really see a lot of use because most of the people at the temple don't have a need for it, and I don't know, like
And we like
there might be.
I'd say it makes sense either to have a sigil there or in the islands to the north that you mentioned, and then maybe Seven got to Lunapor by taking a boat from one of those, right? So I think either of those would make sense.
Okay.
It's up to you. I mean, you're the game master here. You pick.
I'm the game master. All right. Oh boy. Let's give it a 50-50. That's what I do when I don't want to pick. I say we will let the dice decide. I'm gonna turn off my screen. Am I still sharing my screen? I don't even know.
Yep.
Okay, stop streaming. So let's go back to Roll20. And let's give it a 50-50. 1 through 10. We'll do somewhere in the Empire of the Isles. 11 through 20. We'll do the monastery. The Order of the Peacekeepers. Looks like it's going to be you got one at the monastery. Makes a lot of sense.
By now, there's got to be a website where you put any map that you want on there and you press a button, it's like throwing a dart at it. Right? Like, it's been long enough for that to develop.
Upload an image and throw a dart.
Yeah.
Well, having one at the monastery makes our exit here pretty convenient.
It sure does, and it would
Also-
make a lot of sense for Seven, considering he was sent there on this specific mission. So I'm
Yeah,
cool
maybe
with that.
maybe he didn't
Also,
have it beforehand, but when we showed up there, he saw it and jotted it down just in case.
Yeah, I imagine that there's maybe like an old one that is it only sees a little bit of usage. There's not really somebody who's regularly present at the monastery to just like zip people away. It kind of goes against the whole pilgrimage ethos too. So only for emergency purposes.
I don't think, let's look at it this way. I don't think any of the people who sent us, the higher ups who sent us on this mission, are the type of people to walk into a pilgrimage.
Right. No.
You know, also, if they're still there, they also might be able to give out more location.
This is true. So it makes a lot of sense. There would be a circle at that monastery that the
I
others.
think we've resolved then.
All right.
By the way, welcome, Scarlet.
Oh, hello.
My mic isn't working. Oh, is it? Yeah, it is.
We can hear you. Do you have any idea what's going on at all?
Sort of. I got a crash course from Kevin. I didn't have time to watch anything, but I know we're doing good. And
I'll join you, Kevin, with some morning soju.
Oh, lucky you. I don't think they know what soju is in Ohio.
I know that we.
They probably don't, but they know they. Never mind.
But yeah, right now where we're at with it, Scarlet, is everything for last week, and then we're discussing Seven's teleportation circle locations, essentially.
Yeah. So what we were going to propose then is is either sending the we were going to try to take the warforged to somewhere they could be safe and maybe learn some non-war skills like establish a farm. Maybe they could be farmers or something.
All right.
But it turns out the only I have three teleport locations now, and one that we could teleport them to is the monastery that we started from, which doesn't seem very helpful because I mean they might just get captured there, or
They wouldn't be
something.
there. I think that our biggest concern would be the diplomat. Which diplomats were there?
Exactly, and I mean if the right one is there, maybe he'd want to. I don't know, but then either the second is the Empire of the Four Winds capital, which seems like an also a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And then the third is a continent to the southwest on the world map, where I have the location of the headquarters for the organization I work for, the Eye, and they're not farmers themselves, but at least they're apolitical. If we took them there, we could probably through my connections I could find someone who's willing to shelter them. But that might be a little mini adventure on its own. So that's about the limit of our options if we want to use teleportation circle to get them out of here. I'm also open for any other ideas if you guys have.
Them somewhere kind of like the Eye sounds sort of like what we were looking for. Somewhere aligned-ish, far-ish away. I'm sure they could put them to work.
How many teleportation circles can you use? Well, like, cast. How many instances can you cast in a day?
I have one fifth level spell slot.
So one. Okay. So we couldn't go as a preliminary party, and then I could sending back to you, and then you could send a map to the monastery after us once we know it's safe.
Yeah. I mean, also worth noting is that it's a 10-foot circle and it only lasts for one round. So, I mean, there's some physics limit on how many people you could actually get through the portal. I don't know what that limit is. We'd have to kind of guesstimate it.
For my
And so it's anyone who steps into it for one round disappears there? Or is it-
A shimmering portal opens and it stays open until the end of my next turn. So however long you want to define a turn, and then you could have people everybody run through it once, but obviously there's a limit because of space, right?
A lot
Right.
of warforged should be running through one teleportation.
right?
And we have like the big dudes, like the dude in the back too. And we
So,
probably
so
have
they could,
two
I mean, they
on
could,
this side.
assuming they can run like 30, assuming their movement speed is 30, then it seems reasonable you could get 30 of them through. But
I'm imagining the dudes like the Eye are just gonna have like 30 warforged just run out of the fucking teleportation circle.
You're
And be
like,
like, yo, what is happening?
Really,
Yeah,
people saying a
I mean,
teleportation circle.
obviously I'd have to go with them to sort of explain the
Right.
situation. But
People
How about this? We just put
actually
cloaks
think it's like a
on
room
every
with a
single
circle
one
in it
of
when really
them.
it's just like a long hallway now. Just run!
we just put cloaks on every one of them, and we just walk them out the Empire of the Four Winds capital. I think that'll be
Just walk
fine.
them out.
Walk them out.
But also,
Walk casual.
we got sending, so we can coordinate it.
Sending to people I've met.
Yes, well, no, so what I mean is, if we go through for the first one and we need to do it the next day, you can always coordinate with Jadachi with the sending spell, be like, hey, get everybody ready at this point, because we are going to cast it in.
Oh yeah. I would say I
It's-
probably know like back roads back to the monastery, right? Like the less traveled roads.
Yeah. Adding up the cultists, and we got skin suits.
What? That doesn't even make
You didn't
sense.
see my full joke of it. You didn't see my fucking Silence of the Lambs joke there?
Jesus Christ! All right.
Free chat.
So I mean, the thing is, we promised Jadaji that we would help him with his goals, and you know, it's clear that his goal is to evolve more. I mean, I feel like that's a long-term thing, right? Whatever form that help is going to take, like it's not going to be something that we can accomplish right now. So we need to get them somewhere where we have time to properly help them.
Right.
I mean, I can always do a sending back to Arundel and ask what we should do.
We can set up like a clandestine meeting and secretly start to get all the warforged out into the monastery where there is a teleportation circle, and then we use that teleportation circle to teleport them to the eye. Then we take care of their ascending from there.
Well, we don't need to use a circle to do it. I can cast the spell anywhere. There just needs to be a destination circle.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Right.
so you don't have to use the resources again and again. Is that how that works?
No, it costs me the 50 gold to do it every time I do it. But that's like drawing the sigils on the ground. Like I make a circle to create the portal, but the portal can only go to these fixed locations that I know.
Can one fixed location go to another fixed location for free?
No, there's two different teleport spells. The one is like the room to room or circle to circle. The other one is like draw it yourself, I think.
No, I mean, since you're just saying that there's a permanent teleportation circle, right?
Right. So
Yeah.
you have to write the sigils. When you cast the spell, you write the sigils that is your destination. So even if there's a permanent circle like right next to you, the sigils that are drawn on that circle are the ones for this location, not your destination. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It's only at the permanent circles only really matter if it's the destination. Okay.
Yeah, the circles are just destinations. They're just anchors, right? You can teleport to any of those nodes, but not from one node to another without.
Right. I'm just thinking like short term, getting them out of the valley.
I mean, like I said, maybe
Where we
maybe Arundel and others may have an idea of where they can go for safety.
Well, we can teleport them to your temple. I just think that's a.
No, I mean the ascending. Let's just ask. Maybe they have means to transport them themselves.
Yeah,
Or
I'm
have a
just
location
thinking
to
that.
stop at somewhere like if we walk.
Yeah, I guess it's worth asking. Why not?
Who are you asking about this?
I am going to do to Arundel.
Okay, so you're asking your father.
Yes. It's gonna be sending. Let me just pull up Word real quick and get a rough. Already got 22 words left because starts off with Rylan Nailo here.
To your own father.
I mean, voice in the head.
Assistant.
It'd be like, hey, Dad, I found this on the side of the road. Can we keep it?
Can I have it?
Let's see. Okay. So my 25-word message is Rylan Nailo here. Issued at the pass resolved. Chauncey free. Dodgy friendly. Manipulated by cultists. Restoring ghostlight. Sending once warforged dead. Where do they go?
Good job. Got a lot in there.
Oh boy. Send in once warforged dead. Hmm.
Not gonna lie, I just want to hear Anthony do Arundel's voice.
Arendelle Nailo here.
Please don't do that.
That's Bobby voice.
That's 3.
I just like to imagine that Rylan is like the weirdo of the family who just speaks with a country accent that no one else does. He just
Everyone's
does
like-
for some reason.
He talks like a classic elf. He's like,
Right.
What is it you are doing, son? Why do you speak so strangely? I do hope this is a phase.
I don't think this is a phase. This is just who Ryland is.
Gosh darn it, Riley, stop sleeping in the hay bales.
Oh, is that your dad?
Right, and that country charm.
Arundel's the old, like, 95-year-old grandpa who used to boil peanuts on the side of the road.
Yeah. He's like the incomprehensible country accent, you know?
only Ryland understands him. No, let's see. Can you copy paste that message for me?
Oh, you son
There,
of a
you
bitch.
did cram an awful lot in there, and Arendelle might need a second to think about how to answer all that.
Let me retype it out.
Oh, you deleted it all?
I closed Word, yeah.
I thought I think you take notes of everything that you said.
Oh, okay, that's fair. You got me on that one. That would have been well, typically I write down the responses. Hold on.
True.
Okay, I'm missing one of my 4 letters. Remember issue at pass resolved, Shansi free, dodgy friendly. Oh,
Gonna see if I can cast this to this TV, which I've never heard of the brand Kuka, COOCAA, brand television,
Oh man, I love Kuka. They're the best.
right? Well, it's kind of like a TLC and what's it called? AOC started off 2 decades ago and are actually good brands now.
okay, here we go. Let me post this. 25 words. I'm not gonna close Word this time.
I'm a bit out of the loop. Scarlett, is Ryan not gonna be able to join us tonight?
Yeah. Maybe not for the foreseeable future. You know. He's more than welcome though. And I could give you guys a rundown of what happened later. If you want.
I mean,
Whatever.
definitely want to, but we could wait till after the game if if you want.
What I understand is there's a good chance we're banking 200 gold pieces each when we sell a spyglass.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. We got a boat.
Oh, we got a boat. I sold that too.
We should keep the boat. We could use the boat.
How much does a boat sell for?
A
I mean, it might
boatload.
be worth it.
Oh, fuck
Not
you.
really.
Fuck you.
Oh man, I was waiting for it.
Anthony.
What happened to him? Is he like trying to like actually deliver this sending message to someone? Like
I know, right?
just gonna run this down the street?
He's getting into the zone. He's working out the accent, the really incomprehensible accent.
Yeah, he's like watching YouTube videos. Get the accent right.
Oh my god, the dog's actually sleeping.
I'm trying to grab my cat. He's at my feet.
I'm not getting up from this chair for the rest of the night now.
I wish I could retire and devote more time to D&D. And if I did, I would definitely hire like professional voice coaches to like help me do my character accents better.
Right?
Just make up a random company, start sponsoring Critical Role to the point where they have to invite you onto set. And just make each one teach you a different voice.
That's a
Right.
diabolical plan, sir. I like it. You just gotta throw enough money at it, you'll get the end.
One thing for me that worked early on was rather than trying to do an accent, it was like trying to hold my mouth or tongue in a certain way that would always, no matter what words I was saying, would modify it the same consistent manner.
Smart, actually.
That's why I still can't have issues saying key.
I'm waiting up, but I can't hear anything.
Well, that's okay, because you sound like shit too.
Or I'd watch those like accent YouTube, like all the accents in the US and stuff like that. Start talking about like rhotic and non-rhotic.
All Max did was listen to a bunch of fucking hard bass.
There
Hard
we
bass. Hard bass.
Okay. Sorry about that. I should have known better. I'm
My,
just
my
gonna.
great shame was in Max's game when I struggled to do a French accent. I was like, I know I can get this if I prepare, but on the spot I was hopeless. I kept doing German instead.
The worst thing was, I that wasn't supposed to be a French accent. It just ended up
Yeah.
being a French accent. I'm just like, generic accent, what can I do? Oui,
The
yes.
Um. You guys can hear me okay?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sound beautiful.
Alright, I'm gonna turn my video back on. I'm not gonna keep recording because. Oh, I thank you. Wow. That's heartwarming. You were asking for a response. Rylan, I look here. Issue attempts past chances. Manipulated by cultists. Arendelle. You just expect Arendelle to have all the answers, don't you?
Well, in fairness, I did
Daddy.
this on this mission. If you don't think I'm going to do this with
Daddy,
every
no.
single person who issues us a mission, Anthony.
Check in with the quest giver every step along the way.
Listen, I was in the army long enough. You check in at pivotal moments.
All right.
Son, the answer was inside you, and you must walk your own path.
Remember who you are.
Kevin, you checking in with your superiors every minute?
Chief?
That's fair, but more often you just ripped on them half the time.
Yeah, not to them.
All right.
I get to a point where I don't know what I'm going to be doing next, and I say, "Hey, what should I do next?" And they go, "You should do this." Huh, got it. The doing maps. You should know that, Mr. NCO.
Looks like he's trying to type in roll 20.
God, I'm so tired of hearing keyboards.
Must be like a bad internet or something, right?
No, I'm good. I'm typing out a response.
He's got a measure
The Feynet.
of 25 words. I had to cancel my service for Xfinity from my old place today, finally. They had on their automated system, they have piped in keyboard noises for when you reply to the automated system.
Is it supposed to be like comforting or something?
I don't know. They'll be like, "Are you sure you want to cancel this?" I'm like, "Yes," and then you just.
That's so weird.
They ask you like the next question. Let me say, I was really thrown off too having to play this game at Eastern time.
Oh yeah, now you're in my time zone.
Yeah, I like sat down at my computer.
What the hell is that?
Doesn't me crying at him being so tough. Good news is though, like I can 100% maintain this schedule at this time until at least August.
Cool.
Yeah, so now if this gets fucked up, it's just Max's fault.
What? What?
I'm talking about you fucking this game up.
Why would I fuck this game up?
Because
I'm maybe an Herbelia.
He's just gonna have to not get sleep.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Please.
Hey, out of
Armed
curiosity,
Forces like
out of curiosity, Anthony, where are the fantasy Arabs in this world?
Arabs.
Is the answer going to be the fractured kingdoms? Because that's where that's where I want them.
So
No, that's the Chinese king.
you're only gonna have to be up at 3 a.m. Erbil time.
Oh man, well, that's probably where I'm going to get hit by IDF when World War III gets
You're
kicked
gonna
off.
be in the middle of combat talking about how you're slicing apart. So when you're gonna hear R2D2
Yeah.
go off.
By like use Slavophile, like why are you trying to go to Iraq when obviously like your dream girl is in Ukraine with like man
Bro,
50 cal
bro,
sniper at the border?
Bro, if we go to war, I'm gonna get reactivated anyway, and I'm gonna be in the trenches with the Ukrainians, or they'll send me to fucking Serbia because of course they're gonna side with Russia, and then I'll fight in the second Bosnian war or some
No,
shit.
you'd go to fucking Germany and you do all your intel there. They fucking make Ramstein a fucking giant ass intel collection facility.
See, the thing is, we're probably gonna have enough intel guys, and I'll probably be stuck as like a truck driver or something like that. This is World War III. We're not talking about the surge in Afghanistan, man.
I mean, if you're fuel delivery, you get hazard pay even if you're not driving it, right?
That's fair, but the reason I'm not driving it is because I'm stuck on the side of the road getting shot at by Russians.
Right.
Don't pretend you even have your military driver's license.
I don't know, but they're gonna make me learn.
12.
That's what happened to my buddy. Is like when he went to sign up, like the only place for him to do is because we signed up. No, well, they signed up like right before 9/11, and so they're just like, well, what's nearby? Well, I don't feel like traveling, so I guess I'll just take refuel. It's the easiest to do. And then they got sent to Iraq.
Hey,
But
man,
he
what they're gonna
he landed in
do-
Fallujah, and the network.
Oh, did he really?
He landed in Fallujah, but the network was down. He's like, oh wait, I'm a comp sci major. Let me do this. And like, what are you? It's like I'm refuel. So I'm like, no, you're not. You're here.
Good job, buddy.
You can network.
They're
Yeah.
gonna look at your
And
name,
don't forget.
They're gonna look at your
Don't forget.
They're gonna be like, oh, 389th Military Intelligence Battalion Airborne Special Forces. Like, okay, cool. Put them on the plane. Go to Ukraine. They're gonna be heading.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Flying over Ukraine. I'm like, okay,
You're
guys.
pretending like you're not gonna get recalled, Mister fucking 35 Tango. Year worth of fucking. Didn't you deploy with JSOC too?
No.
And you have JSOC experience?
Let me finish my
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're
sure.
gonna be on the plane, they're
Like you're not
okay,
gonna be on the
like,
front lines right along with me.
They're gonna say, okay, put on your parachute, and you're just gonna look and be like, what? They're like,
You think we're gonna jump in World War III?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And
Fuck no, we're not. Into where in Ukraine? The glass crater that used to be Kiev. Yeah, we're gonna jump into there.
You might as well do it because in World War IV we're not going to have planes anymore.
World War IV. We're not gonna. It's not gonna be in America anymore.
Get your jump in.
It'll be the corporate states of America by then.
Wow, I get the bad news from
Resource
Aaron,
wars.
but I don't even get it in his cherry rosy voice. God.
Oh, no.
Must find a way.
Yep, find the way, Ryland.
Sounds to me like they're staying the Tempest Pass.
Is that any way for future Sergeant Major Gordon to talk after World War III?
Yeah. It's not my problem. I'm not signed for him.
I mean, I guess the eye is an option still. Like, but
Yeah.
we can probably find some, somewhere in the countryside there where there's a farm that wouldn't mind a bunch of robot helpers.
What about you, Nimue?
Um,
You got any of them free islands out there?
right? I mean, Nimwe's backstory, she does have those safe houses.
Mm.
They're supposed to be villages.
That's probably like good for transporting like a couple
Right.
people, right? Not like how many
That
warforged
whole
total are
thing.
there, Anthony?
I mean, you have killed a good number of them, so
And we're
good
not gonna
news,
mess
less than there used to be.
Well, we did thin the crowd a little bit.
But
Let's
the
see.
other half of the force still wants to kill us. That's another thing, by the way.
Yeah, you didn't exactly.
Oh,
part
that's right. I
on
forgot
good
about all the ones in the
terms.
keep.
They were very, very
Shit, what are we gonna do
mad.
about them?
Yeah.
I'm just
Actually,
gonna tell them to stay
that
down.
one.
But
Or
yeah.
6,
I think
7.
our only option is either one, teleport them, or two, we leave them here for the time being and find a charter ship that can come into the bottom of the river and pick them
Looks
up.
like you got about 13 of them here
Yeah,
at the
we can do that
monastery.
too. Although we can't really complete our mission until then. So this one might drag on for a bit in that case.
Yeah, there's about 13 of them here, and there are dozens that you left behind in Windhold. You don't know.
But yeah, we could charter a ship. I guess that's possible too.
We find a lot of cloaks, and we just throw a hood over each one,
Right.
and we just walk them out. Because at that point, some poor patrol is just gonna stop us and be like, "Halt, intruders!" And we'll be like, "Listen, bro, we have like 50 of these dudes. Like, you really want to start this right now? We're just trying to leave."
Yeah.
Or are they gonna do call the army? This is the army.
Did they even leave anyone alive at the keep? No, because some of the soldiers fled. That's right.
We also have one thing that you might not be thinking about. Brian's character does have the sigil of his father and everything, so it could always be we dress up as the Empire and use that as our multi-pass as why we're walking with a bunch of warforged.
True.
Well, if you're talking about bringing them back to the Empire,
No, not bringing them back to the Empire, but like passing through certain areas if we need to.
I mean, there's only so many directions we can leave the pass in, you know. There's the Four Winds, and then there's Lunapor, the River Kingdoms, and these guys just attacked the River Kingdoms, and the Four Winds wants them back. So, there has to be a third option here somewhere.
I'm legit not sure where these safe houses would be for him away, but she could definitely hide 13 warforged. That'd be pretty easy if there's one nearby.
I think we never got a count on exactly how many are at the keep,
I think
but
Anthony
presumably there's a lot more than 13 of these folks in total.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's like 100 of them, then I think our only option is teleport. Like we're not gonna march. We're not gonna march with the Legion anywhere without attracting notice.
It would be awesome, though.
Cat's just like, yes, a whole army marching along.
Right.
My former enemies turned to my side, yes. Yes, my new Tovaishe.
Sounds like we need a head count.
Would you say probably 50 would be a good roundabout number?
Yeah, I mean, you did get the sense. I mean, you never saw exact numbers, but you had the sense that there could be
I
upwards.
mean, does anyone remember how many were attacking us when we were in the fort?
A ton.
I mean, they were in the dozens there. If you guys were to
Two is
to-
not quite a ton.
At least two.
at least two. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Just making sure. Yeah, you 50 on the low side, maybe somewhere as many as 70 is kind of your rough estimate based on what you've seen in total.
We could try splitting them up, going many different directions,
How's that
and
work
we
for
agree
you?
to have like a, and we agree to meet at like the rendezvous point. At least I'll diffuse our numbers.
Yeah, but like you said, there's only so many exits. You know, even if you want to split, like there's two exits out of this pass that we're in. So you're gonna have 25 of them coming out both ends, regardless.
True.
Unless we can bring a ship into the bottom, into that little bay.
Yeah.
That's the only way we get
We-
all of them.
Could pass them off as, if we get in small enough units, pass them off as a Warforged patrol being led by a Four Winds officer, disguised as
Okay.
one, and we just move them through some territory until we get to a harbor and requisition a ship. That's one option.
That seems way riskier than just teleporting them the fuck out.
It is, and I'm just saying, like, and if we don't have the resources to teleport them all out, that's we're working with really a small amount of options here.
I mean, we could, you know, if it takes a couple days, we can teleport them all out. But it's just a question of where. We can't bring them to Temple. Apparently, we can't bring them to Four Winds. So that pretty much that means our only option is the Eye if we want to teleport them out. If the Eye doesn't work, then we've got to get a boat. Like we don't have any other options really.
Lunapor means ward. Four Winds means death. Monastery has a lot of eyes.
And there's a Empire station, a camp set up on the east side of the pass, so we can't march them past there either. So and we can't march them into Lunapor. So yeah, I mean it's either get a boat or take them to the whatever continent the Eye is on. I think we don't have.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Eye is probably the safest bet if we can maintain that.
Well, yeah, but we also can't.
that
It'd either we'd have to stay here for like like another week to be able to teleport.
well, I mean,
unless
if
we're
we-
fucking Eiffel Towering them.
if we like hole up in like a temple after we reactivate the ghostlight and then get rid of the storm,
Yeah.
and we just do it over a course of a couple days.
I think
I will-
we
I will
gotta
s-
move them before we fix the ghost light, because fixing the ghost light invites people into the pass.
Right.
and maybe the warforged could help tidy up the temple that they helped take over while we go handle the ghostlight, and so that it returns to normal once they're gone, as part of the deal. So we could be all dealing with that while they're getting this ready, and then we come back once the valley is all like normalized, and we don't have to worry about being, killed, and then we can go out and do this.
Right, because the River Kingdoms have no reason to come back to this monastery, right? They have more reason to go investigate the temple, like the garrison that they had over there, and that's destroyed, and they're going to be occupied cleaning that up.
Or
Are you talking about Windhold Keep?
Yeah, Windhold Keep.
well, it's not.
Yeah, I don't.
It's still
Yeah,
fully
but
functional.
it's still functional, and they're going to probably take some time to pick at like the ruins, try to figure out what happened. So they're going to be distracted for a minute. So
Or-
if we get the Warforged from there here, and then we start teleporting them out one by one, or like one group at a time, it should diffuse anyone else's attention for a while, because the Empire's not going to come over this side.
alternate plan. We put notices at both entrances to the pass that there's a dragon in the area, and they should avoid the pass at every single cost, and it is closed.
Yeah, but then how do we get the Warforged out?
Oh, well, then we can take our time.
Well, but, all right.
Take our time to do what?
Either way, we need to get those Warforged. I think, for me, it doesn't really matter too much, but we do need to get the Ghostlight under control, because we don't even know how long we have, because we don't have days. Remember what Shanti said? Like, we need to get like the Thunderbolt to the Ghostlight like pretty fucking soon, or else this storm thing may go on forever, or like be permanent, which is super bad.
I don't know. I feel like he was just, he was all hyperbole there. This shit's gonna be fine.
It's fine.
I feel like he was exaggerating the issue.
It didn't sound like exaggeration, but alright. Alright. Yeah, fuck it, let's just let's set up a teleportation train.
We're teleporting maybe quicker than a boat, right? And then we'd be able to get to the ghost light faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do have a couple. The problem is we have to get back in somehow, because we still have two things to finish here. We have the ghostlight. We have the ghost light to restore, and we also have to get a couple spears to get Safine's wand back.
Right.
Blood rapier.
Oh, to get the blood rapier back. Okay.
I will say
Well,
this.
either way,
If you-
so if we were to teleport to the continent that the eye is on, we could teleport back to Ryland's temple and then re-enter the pass and deal with the ghost light. It's just you're right that might take a while.
I still think we should put off the Ghostlight, because I
If
think
you-
Shouldn't, right?
should not.
Yeah,
should
if you're
Well,
having this
if
discussion,
Anthony ever comes back online, we
I'm
can
on.
probably do
I've
that
been
discussion.
on.
I just don't know if that's happening
Wait.
at this point.
You can hear me, can't you?
Can you not hear
I can.
Anthony?
I see Anthony.
Can you guys hear me?
Anthony's been, like,
Man,
Anthony's
I
been
was
like
hoping
trying
you
to.
guys would be super cool and just play that off. And just ignore Anthony as he was talking. Damn you, Max.
I was.
I'm
You know what?
so confused.
I would-
I don't know.
Wait a second. I'm so confused now. What is happening? Nick, can you actually not see him? Can you not hear him?
Is serious? Is that just me? I just see a spinning circle. I don't see
Oh my
it.
god! Oh my god! Okay, cool. I just thought you were like,
talking over me. I was like, oh.
yeah.
Yeah, just quit and rejoin.
Okay, I thought Nick was like doing a bit. Like I wasn't sure what was going
I was
on.
ready to turn that into a bit.
I was so confused. You like kept talking over Anthony. I'm like, he never does that. That's weird. What's going on? I'm like, oh, Nick is being assertive.
I don't know if they're just really
great.
into this discussion, and like I should just let them keep
Right.
going because they're really into this talk, or like
I didn't know if I want. I didn't know if I
And I
wanted
was
to
like,
call him
"Can-
out, but
Can
But
you
as soon
hear
as-
me?
as soon as he said as soon as Anthony comes back online,
I was
I'm like,
like,
oh wait a second.
All right,
Like, how long are we gonna play this?
can you hear me, Nick?
Oh yeah, there you are. So I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear or see you that whole time.
I was like, I kept saying things, and then you would like jump in. I was like, oh, okay. I guess he's got big ideas. That's fine.
No. I'm sorry. I thought you were still trying to get back on.
No, it's all good. No, I've been on for like a while, so I don't know. Yeah. What I was going to say was that if you guys are having this discussion, Shansi would probably come in at some point, and she would hear the debate, and she would offer.
As much as I don't relish the thought, it's possible I could offer the Temple of the Yielding Heart as sanctuary for these warforged, at least until you're able to get the ghostlight under control. Of course, I could always try to handle the situation myself, but the number of monks here is limited, and it does sound as if there have been some developments there. But one way or the other, I would not dare to risk allowing the ghostlight to remain unlit any longer than necessary. So, if that's what it takes, giving the Warforged a safe harbor here, then that is something I am willing to offer.
Then I propose to the group that we take care of the ghostlight, and then allow the Warforged Shansi to take in the Warforged temple, and deal with the repercussions, and then deal with the evacuation of the Warforged over time. It will be at our leisure.
I like it. Then we can take care of the most critical matter first.
And Sophie?
No, I've already stated that. I think we should handle the ghostlight first. And Ryland, unless you haven't prepared it already, I do believe those beings spoke some sort of language. If you have something to be able to communicate with them, that might work as well. The things that came out of the portal on the ghostlight.
Oh, I mean, it can work.
As for, actually, I did have one question. The guardians, the stone guardian things.
Mm-hmm.
How big are they?
I believe previously stated they stand about 35 feet tall.
That's like colossal or giant or gargantuan
They
or
are.
whatever.
Yes, they are gargantuan.
As in, stop volunteering us to kill them.
Hey, if they were huge, I can make them kill themselves.
After the ghostlight is repaired, perhaps we could just go and grab the two, or grab the one from the village. And it sounds like to me that the watch line is going to be repaired, or at least stop looking for people to kill. So after it is good.
And how do you recommend us transport this 30-foot long spear?
Improvise.
I'm going to resurrect a shit ton of these cultists and carry it for us.
Like I
Yeah,
said, improvise.
Why would I carry things?
Safine doesn't carry things, no.
Only an air of grandeur.
So we're going to the ghost lot now then?
Go and fix fix what has been broken.
All right.
Go ring them. Excuse my language. Them gosh darn veils.
Say it how it is, Ron.
And maybe Jadaji could gather all the warforged over here in the temple, so they may all have safe harbor. And then maybe we could explain that we killed a lot of them.
Or we could tell Jadaji to head to the keep with the rest of his warforged, and we meet them there.
Oh, right, but Shansi was offering safe harbor for them here at the temple,
Okay.
just in case.
It just seems like I don't know how many are still at the keep, but if it's a lot, then that might be too much for the temple. I don't know.
Shansi shrugs and she says, the situation would certainly get crowded, but there is, of course, also the shrine high in the mountains. It's more secluded even than Yielding Heart, and perhaps we could harbor some of them there. They would be well out of sight.
And you don't need to give food or beds.
This is true. It's not as if they'll tax our supplies. Only our patience.
Oh, they are good friends on top of them. Have you met Kusok? I think he killed a cultist leader.
I guess you're just gonna have to yield your hearts to this new experience.
Ha! I see what you did there. That was an island level joke.
She, even though Safine's kind of being a little like snarky, Shansi does take that in and say,
It is part of our creed, yes. Not to
Also,
become stuck in our ways.
realize that you may be the first group that gives them the chance. So, first impressions are paramount.
It will be a challenge to put aside what has already happened, but
I think Safine's already pulled them aside and basically said, out of character, if they're willing to give a tooth or something like that, Safine will carry it until it's possible to bring them back fully and send them back on their way. It may take a long amount of time, but Safine, that would have been a private conversation.
right.
What? When? What?
Yeah, it did get mentioned last week. But yeah, Shansi kind of had mulled that over, and she had suggested that she would say that she's not sure many of the spirits would agree to this. Their teachings are all about putting the body and the spirit at one, but she does say that it should be the choice of each individual. So she permits you to take a sample and then let each individual decide as they will.
Okay.
sounds very expensive, but if you're willing to do that, then yes, I would like to see that these my students, those who trained here, robbed of their lives before their time.
I think making this situation as whole as we possibly can is going to be immensely important as we walk forward into this new world.
I cannot dispute that.
Yeah, it's only like 30,000 gold, right? I don't care.
Yeah, it's only an outrageous amount of gold.
So it's only a pirate ship.
All right. Yeah, she would as the Jitaji would inform that the remains of the dead monks can be found not far outside of the temple where they were disposed of, and he would also facilitate the movement of warforged into the monastery. That's the way that the winds are blowing, and yeah, sort of leaves you free to do as you wish for the moment.
Thought we were going to the ghostlight.
Go into the ghostlight.
No?
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me just retell my fable of the five wisdoms over here.
All right. Just give me 1 second here. I'll get you over there.
What all info did you guys figure out from the cultists? I know that like the rifts are randomly opening up around the world.
Well,
And that magic itself is divine, and they have their own methods of bringing people back, and they look down on humanity as a institute for what they offer.
Saya is the highest rank within the cult. It was a ritual done at Dagnosword to conjure down what they call the substance. They use the substance in a transubstantiation as a 1-for-1 to turn it into the sacrament of Sotha. Nefeli was the lowest order of the Sayas. The Ghostlight, they needed to be able to do the ritual to call down the substance. They have to disrupt the tides in an area. The two types of Sayas are Blood Drinker and Bone Gnar. And their station of the cult, I guess, or their faction of the cult, is in Koteth. And they traveled by land and ship to get to Tempest Pass. And his name was Luxor, and he had a weird helmet.
And his name was Lakshur. Yeah. Sorry. I'm just rapidly putting this up here where it belongs.
Also, they think apple juice is better than orange juice, which is complete bullshit, by the way.
But when they're really desperate, they just mix the two and drink that.
Even more reason to destroy them.
Fucking cultists.
Wow, it's not even a Thai apple, it's a Fuji apple. The disrespect.
Yeah, right? And mixed grape juice. Cool. Oh, I got my soju, which is going down slowly at 8:50 in the morning.
You just gotta add a little OJ to it.
How are things in Thailand?
Yeah, it's good. I'm getting used to every interaction of the 5-minute small talk chat because why do you speak Thai? Like, and then, you know,
Do their levels of spice in their food include American?
yes. Yes.
Mind.
I've only been here for 4 days. I've already been told I should date somebody's 19-year-old daughter that I met yesterday. That's great. That happens a lot.
That's understandable.
Like you're not even half my age, literally. I'm like, no. But hey, their minds are like, you make a lot of money and you speak our language. You'd create a great son-in-law. We don't care that you're older. That's normal.
See, or we could ferry out warforged at the base of that river by Dagon's Ford.
Did somebody say fairy? Fairy queen?
Right?
Wow.
She's a fairy queen.
You guys are really,
No,
really up.
don't say you guys. You can say Mark. Just say Mark, Anthony. Single him out.
Okay. Let's see. I just need to see where the typhoon is headed.
Sophia is fey touched.
It is headed up in your general
I
direction.
hope they didn't touch you there.
They did.
Oh.
Feels consensual.
All right. Following the path along the mountainside here, returning to the ghostlight as you did once before, you make your way high up into the hills, and the winds continue to blow. The rain comes down, drenching you as you find yourselves back out in the storm. And eventually, though, all of that begins to fade away as you come within proximity of the ghostlight. The world somehow seems stiller and darker as you lose sight of the mountains around you, even Urchin Bay to the north and the valley to the south, all of it fading to black as you're in this strange sort of space, this sort of bubble that surrounds the ghostlight. Dense rolling fog gives you only glimpses of view, but you can see the tower rising up. And something else as well. This place has changed since you were here last. There is some sort of crystal sprouting from the earth, jutting out of rocky faces, and it's poking up everywhere. It has a faint purplish hue, making it look almost like oh god, I just blanked on it.
Amethyst?
Thank you, amethyst. But growing in this strange sort of large formations and spiky. And can drop you there. It's like this.
Ooh,
Really cool.
that well, that's not a good sign.
Let's just come back another day. Wait for it to completely load. There we go.
I really want to touch it. I really want to touch
Do
it.
See what happens.
Oh, it's such a bad idea. Cat's gonna reach out with a gloved hand and lightly touch one of the crystals.
I'm backing up.
You
Wasn't
reach out and touch this crystal.
Does it help that I'm wearing gloves?
Does it help?
Uh-oh. See you guys later. I'm gonna get turned into crystal, guys.
Or transported to a different realm.
Yeah, that too. I always want to go on an adventure like that.
It as you touch it, you see that it begins to glow with its own luminance, getting brighter and brighter until it's nearly blinding. I would like you and Naz to give me a saving throw.
What kind of saving throw?
Let's see. Constitution.
All right. Well, I'm good at that.
When have you rolled good at
No,
that?
now that you said it out loud. Yeah, and I'm good at persuasion.
Yeah.
But see, I
Cat,
don't get double ones, Mark.
Cat, you see spots in your vision for a moment, but Naz, for her part, grunts as she throws her hands up into her face and says, "I can't see!"
That's
And then
us.
a couple seconds later, she kind of winks one eye open, looks
You-
around.
You
Ah,
good?
Wow, that was terrible.
That was.
Don't-
I'm just glad you're not blind.
Don't do that again.
Yeah, I sure won't. Okay, my friend. Don't murder me in my sleep.
She's still like blinking and wincing in pain as her vision is slowly coming back.
Zaychik, do you know these things about the blinding crystals?
Oh, yes, of course. You didn't touch a blinding crystal, did you?
No.
Don't be fucking stupid.
You know, that does sound pretty stupid, doesn't it? Good thing I would never do that.
Yeah, they use these things for pranks to mess with the newbies at the schools.
That's amazing.
Are you being serious right now, Zaychik? I don't think you're being
No,
serious.
asshole, this is alien shit. What would I know about it?
Alien? I'm just asking. You know weird magic shit. I don't know. God, no.
Wait, let me check. Yes, this is weird magic shit. Just take a sample. We can study it later.
I can't touch it. How am I supposed to take sample?
Use your sword.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. I don't know if I should touch this thing with my sword. I think. Yeah, fuck it, whatever. She's just gonna take
Stop!
it.
I was kidding.
I can't tell with you. Your voice does not change. Do you understand this? Zechik, your voice does not have tonality.
I don't think the problem here is my voice.
I'm just gonna keep walking. I'm just gonna keep walking.
The problem is my voice.
Seven is chuckling. You can tell. He's been having fun with you. Are we going to use the chimes? Did we
Yes,
figure out
I am.
the little riddle thing?
First is last and last is first. Everything else is in the middle.
Oh, Oh, okay, I see. Rylan just runs right up the side of the cliff there.
I was about to say the
Oh, I
entrance
thought it
is
was
up here.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, I thought that was like a slope.
It is. It's actually very difficult to tell on this map, but you can climb up over here where there's actually some scalable elevation.
We came to the ghostlight, right?
Yeah, we've been.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we left, I would have liked to resurrect a few dead cultists to bring some friends.
How long does that take you again?
1 minute.
Okay, then in that case, you can bring some friends. As long as you're bringing dead cultists.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Only dead cultists.
Rylan. One second there.
Do I need to back up?
Yeah, why don't you back up a bit?
I'll just go back to the top of the rocks.
Yeah, why don't you go back to the top of the rocks? That sounds like a good spot. Passive perception again?
19.
Okay. You, as you approach the bridge, realize that there are creatures here amongst the crystals. You recognize the massive, hulking forms of two more of those blue-skinned monstrosities that you fought inside of the tower, lurking amongst the rocks here.
The rocks where Ryland is? Oh, I see.
One of them is right here. I'll reveal them to you since you've spotted them. And another down here.
Have they spotted me?
They seem to be watching your approach. Although whether they realize that you've seen them or not, unclear at the moment because they're remaining stationary. But they clearly have eyes on you.
Back down to this lower level, and I'm just... Guys.
Ryland, I didn't hear any bells. Were you?
We're not alone. Those things we fought in the tower, they're up here by the bells. People who skip things.
Ah, yes, the blue lizards. Right.
Can't go do that thing where you fight.
Go do that thing where I fight? Yeah. Alright, fine. Naz, back me up.
Well, I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Nimue has blind sight, right?
Yes.
She has blind sense.
Oh.
She has blind sense, not sight.
I can see 10 feet.
Isn't it the same thing?
One of them's vibrations. One it's not like seeing in total darkness. It's just vibrations. She's basically a fucking mole.
Be tall.
That's
One from
trans-
Daredevil to Mole. Okay.
I was gonna say we could break off some of these crystals, and she could jab them with it. Stick it inside them, because she can see, but then they'll be blind. They can't see her. I don't know. Maybe that's getting cute.
That's. I think that's an awesome idea.
We need them. Cultist zombies.
Hold on, let me get my sword so I can cut off some pieces.
Here's blind fighting.
That's
You
blind
have
sight.
blind sight within 10 feet. You can effectively see anything that is not behind total cover, even if you are blinded or in darkness. You can see invisible creatures within that range. Ooh, that's interesting. It's good to remember.
I'm willing to bet that these giant toads may have pretty good constitutions.
Probably.
But fuck it, throw them over like a flashbang. Let's see what happens.
Well, it appears they're guarding the path to the crystals. The chimes. You need the chimes? Or do we want to ring the chimes?
I don't know if we want to scale back up.
If I recall, we took them by surprise when we did that last time. But we also don't know what's changed. It looks like there's crystals at the top. Maybe worse than we feared.
I can cast a translate spell so that we can understand stuff if they say it. But I don't know if that means they can understand us back. I don't think it does.
We might as well. Are we? What are we doing? Are we attacking? Am I just gonna go up? Am I charging up?
I did
Am I doing the
have
thing?
tongues from the last long rest.
Am I doing the thing?
I don't know. Are we going to try to fight them, ignore them, or talk to them?
I mean, we can try talking, but if that doesn't work, it's leading to fighting.
All right, it's going to end up being fighting, but let's
Just
try.
like, yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
Ryland, you're great at making friends.
Once everyone gets up here, I'll actually.
Okay, you go first.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Does it happen? No.
Go have fun.
Okay. So, now that they're level.
You guys slowly advance. You see the two of them remaining stationary, but seemingly observing. In fact, Ryland, they don't seem to have moved from where you last saw them at all.
Do they think?
Ron's gonna stand up, very tall and very straight. Howdy, y'all. Ryland Alo here. Just give him a nice little courtesy wave.
You'd see Kat and Naz just like their thumbs up right behind them.
Good job.
You're doing great. Naz is going to fucking die.
Ryland, they don't seem to react to you at all. They just continue to stare.
Kat's gonna
This place
lean
does-
down. And
he's
pick
just
up a
gonna
couple.
lean back. Ryland is like, this place didn't screw with magic last time we were here, did it?
What do you mean? There was a portal to another realm, and these things came crawling out of it.
Yeah, but our magic was all right? Like, I think my spell worked.
I think if you throw this and she hands you a pebble, they'll pay attention to you.
They're already looking right at me.
Well, why don't you say hello again, but in their language?
It already understood me.
Oh. Maybe it's just being creepy.
Seven never does this.
Seven's not creepy. He's charming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This bridge is still intact, right?
Yep, the bridge is still intact.
So we're just like,
Go!
one
Give them
more-
a hug machine.
I haven't hugged anyone.
I hugged you.
You hugged
We've
me.
hugged many
You're the
times.
hug machine, not me. Why don't
You
hug
called
him?
yourself a hug machine.
Excuse me. Hello? Do you guys? Can you understand me?
They continue to remain motionless.
I'm going to start lobbing insults at them if you don't get them moving.
Do you want me to have my cultist friends walk across first?
No, it's okay. I'll slowly make my way over there. I'm gonna take, like, ease on over them, seeing if, like, the bridge is that little point where they're gonna start reacting. So I'm just gonna kind of, like, stick that one foot out there and just give it a little tap on it.
Keep on creeping. You see no reaction.
Maybe their their vision they think that we cannot see them if they do not move. Maybe that's what they are thinking.
Maybe something happened to them?
Hello, guys. I'm Ryland Elo. What's your name? Nice to meet you.
They do look amphibian in nature, and amphibians simply eat anything they can fit in their mouth.
Ryland, as you draw closer now and they're kind of coming right up on this one, you realize that both of them seem to, well, they haven't really shifted their gaze. They still seem to be staring back across the bridge. It's as if they haven't tracked you walking forward.
Ryland, I'm going to try a thing. And she leans down and she picks up a pebble. And she's gonna yeet it right between this thing's eyes.
Yeah, you hit the thing right in the eye, and it doesn't react.
Ryland, I think you should give them a hug.
I'm gonna throw a pebble over here. Like behind this thing. See if it turns around. Like, not necessarily a pebble, but like, like nice fist-sized rock, something that carries a little bit of weight with it.
Yep. Yeah, you can chuck that right on past them. You can hear it like clatter. It's the sound of the rock is like strangely muffled here, but it's still noisy. And yeah, they don't react to that either.
Gonna take one more step. Are they reacting at all?
Nope.
Ryland, I think they are frozen.
I'm making a mad dash straight past them to the stairs.
Okay.
Cat and Nads are gonna go back to back.
Seven's just gonna fly up right in front of one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Is this thing like breathing or anything? Can I see any kind of movement in it at all?
Give me an investigation check.
Zaychik, they are fish. They have gills.
There's no noticeable movement, even as you get right up on the thing. And as you begin inspecting it very closely, you can see the eyeball that Cat hit with the pebble. And it looks like there's actually a tear there. And you realize there's something poking out of it. Something faintly glowing purple. And then as you look across the rest of its body, you realize that protruding out of it, here, there, all over the place, tiny little purple crystal shards.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Okay, upon seeing that, I'll fly away a few feet. It looks like the crystal is literally growing out of it.
Right through.
Oh, did they touch one of those crystals?
Maybe we shouldn't touch them.
Cat's just gonna look at
I
it.
don't know. Something very strange is going on here.
Nas, do I look like I am growing crystals?
Cat, I think I see a little like purple in your eye.
But yet.
Maybe when like all of this happened and the crystals grew out, it trapped them as well.
Maybe.
I don't see why they'd stand still while crystals literally grew into their bodies.
What if it was fast?
Maybe a sudden surge of crystals. Something.
Ryland, you've run past them, and you're up by the bells. What you doing up there?
Ringing the shit out of them in that order.
Frog, elephant, spider, dragon, snake. Alright.
Because now, with that little fable of the five wizards, I understand what the hell these fucking names are, Anthony. Bastard.
Not my fault you guys came in the wrong order. 1 second here. Okay. Ryland, you reach out and you do frog, elephant, spider, dragon, snake. I'm actually not even sure if that's the correct order or not. We'll see.
If it's not, I know another guess here.
You ring each of the 5 bells whose resonant tones stretch out across the landscape. And as each one rings, those of you standing a little further back notice those crystals sticking out of the land seem to pulse ever so slightly with each bell toll. A little bit of light emanating from them. Ryland, you hold your breath, you look back towards the ghostlight, you see no change at the door there.
Okay, so it wasn't gonna be that simple. Okay, hold on. You guys-
However, you hear the rest of you, not Ryland, can hear a very faint sort of tinkling sound as if a little bit of glass was being ground up or breaking. And that sound gets louder and louder. It seems to be coming from this blue creature here that Seven was inspecting. And all at once, its flesh bursts in a flare of light. And I need Naz and Seven to both give me Constitution saving throws.
Naz is gonna be fucking blind. Oh, baby!
7. That's not so great, and it's not so great for Naz either. The flash of light causes both of you to be blinded. However, the rest of you standing around can see what has replaced the monstrosity.
Oh no. Oh man.
It seems to be some sort of creature made entirely of purple crystals. And it doesn't look particularly happy to see you. I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative.
What the fuck is that thing, man?
Ron's on it trying to figure out his puzzle.
That makes sense for Naz.
Let's see, blind. And blind. Is that everyone? I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mark?
Did you hear what I was saying? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
I'm on my phone on my network, not the internet's dead in my hotel right now. Awesome.
Oh,
I told you
that's the worst time.
So you can anybody who wants to, Anthony included, can roll for initiative for Safine, and once he gets back in, I'll let you know. But I'm in the chat. I can hear what's going on.
Okay. Bring Safine into initiative. Wow, very high. 21. And do your zombies, did they have their own initiative? I forget.
Nope, they follow. I have to do a bonus action to tell them what to do, and then they continue to follow it, such as defend me or attack.
Got it. In that case, as this creature begins moving towards you and seems to have hostile intent, Island, you are up first.
Okay. Let's see. Make sure I got the movement. Okay, I am going to. Move up this close. And first thing is, oh god.
Yeah, that's a little too intense. Let's try this one.
Start out with a little fresh emboldening bond as my action between myself, Naz, Cat, and Nimue.
No, this is real intense music. I love it.
Yeah, this isn't actually any less intense, but we're sticking with it. Emboldening bond for your companions.
Yeah, let's see these bonus actions. Yeah, and that'll be it for me.
Okay. That will bring us to Safine next.
Okay, can you hear me?
Can hear you, yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my bonus action to make whatever the guy is closest to me. The 3 zombies are gonna move 20 feet. If they don't have the movement to get there, they'll use their full action to move 40 feet. They just move the most direct they possibly can. And then I'm going to hit the one closest to... Actually, I don't want to hit the one closest. There's only one that we're dealing with right now, right? Or are there multiple?
There's only one right now that you can see. The other one remains stationary.
I'll hit it with a magic missile
Okay.
charge.
So you order the zombies forward, and then you hit it with a magic missile.
Yep.
Alright, the zombies will begin their march. They can dash. And as they come closer to the thing, they enter into this area of incredibly bright luminance. It almost seems not as if just the creature itself was glowing, but the very rock and stone was glowing around it. Even Naz and Seven themselves seem to be shining this purple glow. And as the zombie steps forward, it too is now starting to enter this glow. And I think zombie is going to have to make another con save. In fact, all of them will. They can all dash up to be adjacent to this thing, but as they get close, they're going to start needing to make these saves. I'll do that for the time being.
Okay, yeah, because this is really, really annoying right now. With
Yeah, that's fine. Let's see, zombie. What do they have a +3? Okay. Wow, one zombie passes, one fails, and the other fails. So 2 of the zombies are blinded, but the first one in manages to be able to keep its vision. Kind of funny that zombies rely on, like, normal vision, but... Yeah, alright. They can crowd forward like this. And I will now turn on this aura as it becomes clearer how precisely this strange purple glow works.
And when I'm on, so right now I'm on Roll20 on the Wi-Fi, and I'm in chat in on my SIM card. Is my voice coming through clear enough?
You are all good.
I might leave it like this.
Okay. Yeah, you can make that magic missile damage roll if you like, if you can. So that is, I think there should be one more come in.
Yeah, and I pressed it, so I don't know if my Wi-Fi is going down again. I pressed it like 3 times.
Okay. So it's going to be 9 for starters, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a... I'm just going to roll the last one myself, since I don't know where the others are. But it's an additional... Oh, sorry, it's +1, not +3. It's an additional 4, so a total of 13 points of damage. Oh, there they are.
Wow, that's delightful.
Well, I'll let you keep the one I rolled, since it's a tiny bit better. Alright.
Other side.
Yeah, coming from literally the other side of the earth. Alright, you managed to hit it with these magic missiles, which ping, ping, ping off of its crystal surface. And then it is Nimue's turn.
I have a question. Have we long rested, or are we still operating off of whatever we had?
Excellent question, and one that we didn't really resolve, is it? Did we?
We long rested before we went to meet with Chidaji.
That's correct, and I don't.
Long rested after that.
Yeah, I don't think you've really used anything since then. There was no fighting, so Nimue should be at full.
Okay. I think I want to go ahead and set up and bonus action cast Hunter's Mark on the pistol dude. And then, kill loud. I would like to close my eyes and use my blind fighting approach.
You can indeed, if you want to get closer,
Yeah.
make the choice to avert your eyes, which will, actually, let's double check that. Because averting your eyes makes you blind to the thing anyway. Creature can avert
Unless
it,
you have blind sense.
you can't see the golem. Yep. Yeah, it's a little ironic. So you can make the Constitution saving throw and end up blinded, or you can avert your eyes and not be, and be blind to the creature anyway. But since you do have blind sight, you don't care about these things. You can simply charge forward.
I'm gonna go ahead and come in around Cat. I think I will. Well, I guess it doesn't matter either way. I'm gonna come over here.
Right.
I'm going to use the rapier. I'm going to make 2 attacks.
Nimue will take on this brilliant violet glow as she enters the area, but she's got her eyes shut and doesn't seem to be bothered as she strikes with a 22, which is a hit.
And then Hunter's Mark, which is a 6.
Let's
Go on.
see. Your rapier is just normal damage, right?
It is. It's
Normal
not-
piercing damage. In that case, it will jab into the creature and only be minimally effective. However, the Hunter's Mark damage will all go through.
And Colossus Slayer will go off as well.
I believe that will also be halved.
That
But
makes sense.
it is, let's see, 3, 6, and another 2. For a total of 8 points of damage on that first strike.
Here's the extra attack.
Also lands.
I'm gonna remind myself if I think Colossus Slayer only goes off.
Yeah, I think that's only a once around thing. However, Hunter's Mark, I think, gets triggered every time. Which is what makes it a lovely combo with a monk. Alright, total of 4 more points of damage on the second strike.
And I think that I want to just go for it, and I have all my key points. I'm gonna spend a key point to try and stunning strike and see what happens.
Ooh.
Probably has a good con,
Right.
but
Let's see. Let me double check.
lucky.
Alright, it doesn't have anything that protects it from that. So it will make a con saving throw. And it rolls a natural 1. Oh man.
Nice.
You stun it in place. One well-placed strike doesn't do a lot of damage, but seems to cause the whole thing to seize up for a moment. Pretty huge right off the bat. Anything else from Nimue?
She might shout something like, "It's frozen! Move in! Attack him!"
Cat.
You don't have to say that twice. It's... Yeah, she's gonna run right in, right next to Nimue and start swinging. Okay.
Do you choose to avert your eyes or not?
If I don't avert my eyes, is that like a con saving throw?
That would be another con save.
I'll risk it. I'm gonna keep looking. If not, I'm just gonna blindly swing.
Alright, con saving throw.
Nice.
24 means that you manage to peer through the brilliant purple light and keep your vision.
Alright, then I am just gonna do 2 straight attacks and see what hits.
A 17 is a hit. A 20
Alright.
is a hit.
Good stuff. 13 and 9. That's a 22 slashing damage.
22 slashing damage with a magic weapon. It all cuts through. Poof.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna chill. That'll be it. That'll be everything for me.
Alright. Technically, those attacks were at advantage, just so
Oh,
you know,
nice.
because it was stunned. And it is starting to show a couple of little fractures where Cat hits it. 7. You are currently blinded, but otherwise you can act as you wish.
So if I'm blinded, do I know that it's stunned or not?
Nimue did call it out.
Yeah.
Got the blind flying guy in there to smack.
I mean, I think now that it's stunned, I don't really need to do anything.
Just gonna hang there.
I'm just gonna fly back a little bit to get out of the purple light.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was wearing sunglasses, so I feel like maybe he'll lift up the sunglasses, rub his eyes a little bit, trying to like blink the blindness out of him, and yeah, he'll say, I don't know, what should he say? I encourage violence.
Hell yeah.
All right. Let's see. This thing is up, and it is going to do nothing because it is stunned. It's just going to stand there and sparkle brilliantly. So sad. I don't think there's anything it can do. There's nothing it can do while it's incapacitated. Nope. All right. That means it is Naz's turn. As the creature's turn passes 7, you blink a few times and you're still seeing purple spots, but your vision returns to you. The same happens to Naz, although since she's in the aura, she's going to have to decide right off the bat, look or not to look.
She is not going to look.
All right, she will avert her gaze then. And be effectively blinded to the creature, but not blinded by it. Blind to it, but not blinded by it.
What does that mean for attacks exactly?
So normally attacks would be at disadvantage. Because it is stunned, that's all going to cancel out.
Okay, then in this case, that she is going to avert her eyes, and then she's just going to attack twice.
All right.
These are just straight
Straight attack rolls. 20 and 26 both land.
Half, right?
Halved. So cutting in for just 11 points of damage total, but still managing to leave a mark on this creature.
Alright, good stuff.
Mr. Nailo.
I got time for this fight. I'm riddle solving over here. God. So anyways, I start blasting.
Let's go.
Just gonna hit him with guiding bolt. From my safe area over here. I'm actually gonna take another step back. Closer to the bells. And then guiding bolt auto casted.
Oh, well, good for you. That's an advantage attack because it is stunned. So thanks to Nimue, that becomes a critical hit.
Beautiful.
And a magical crit means you deal blink and you'll miss it. Yikes, this is awful. Quadruple damage. And the target must make a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw on a failed save. The target is unable to see you for 1 minute.
Oh my god.
It's all blindness here, apparently.
So that's
So
16d6?
go ahead. Oh god, I don't know. These magical crits are just insane. But I guess the ones are just as bad. Yeah. What is it normally? 4d6 and 16d6. It is it does have some resistances, but not the kind of resistance that would protect it from a guiding bolt.
So 16d6?
Jesus Christ, man.
Power down?
Ryland meant it when he said he didn't have time for this fight.
Yeah.
Shaking my head. Is that a first level casting?
Yeah.
That's just such an insane. I don't know. Sometimes these crit cards go a little far.
Okay.
Are you rolling it?
I was making sure.
Okay, 55
Splendid
points of damage. Boom, 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 boom. You hit this thing real damn hard, and
Imagine this divine energy just reacting with these crystals on it, and they're just like exploding all over them.
yeah, you cause great chunks of the thing to shatter from that especially effective spell. It does have to make the con saving throw, and it will have advantage on this since it is a magical effect, which means it just passes. However, it does not avoid taking 55 points of damage from a first level spell. Okay.
I like your cards.
Safine, you're up. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
the
struggling.
zombies are no longer blinded, but they do have to blind or not blind. Are you also blind?
No, I'm far away from it all.
No, I mean, can you see the game?
Yeah, I can see the game, but like,
Can't
you know,
hear
it's
it.
coming through.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm trying. No, okay, we're good. Oh man, your connection to the server. I mean, yeah, I just lost internet again. So this is trash. Let's see if I'm coming through now. Okay, I see stuff better now. Then I guess the zombies are going to attack with advantage.
Okay, the zombies technically have to make a choice about averting or not averting their eyes at the start.
And it's just one attack. The next attack. Not like a whole
Yeah.
turn or something.
Right.
I know.
But there's
Yeah, yeah.
advantage due to the stun condition anyway, so.
They are not going to avert because they don't know that. They will never like they're super minded. They're on
Yeah.
attack mode.
I don't think they can even make that choice. I'll make con rolls for you. Unless you can do it. You got it? Great. Okay, one of them passes. So number 1 and 3 are blind for the moment. Number 2 is A-okay.
And then, so it's what? Two
Normal attacks.
advantage?
2 normal attacks and 1 advantage. You got it. Okay, it's 20 slam, 20 hits for half damage, and the 14 and 15 both the zombies pound their arms harmlessly on the very hard edifice.
I think that I will go ahead and use one more magic missile if my... Okay, it is loading now. And I'm going to hit that same one with the one more charge of magic missile.
Alright. Pew pew pew. Little missile bolts fly out, find their way between your allies to strike this crystal monstrosity. Total of 9 points of damage.
And then I think I'm just going to move to here.
Alright. Nimue, you're up.
With our new level, my unarmed strikes are now magical.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna punch it.
The beauty of being a high-level monk.
That's too good.
Oh, but... Oh, it's still at advantage, so make sure you roll a second time there. Open the second gate. Dueling serpents. That sounds pretty badass.
Thank you.
Right.
Looks like it's still gonna be an 11 and a 10.
Yeah, that is a miss on the first one. Go ahead and give me a fresh roll. That will definitely hit. 5 points of bludgeoning. It all goes through because your fists are magic.
Let's see. Cat's up next. Like, you can kill him, Cat. You got this.
Probably.
You can do it.
Kevin's got me on riddle solving duty.
Oh, but it's not stunned anymore.
It's
It is not stunned.
Ow.
Once Nimue's turn ends, it will no longer be stunned.
Fuck it.
Does it look like a few more hits?
It's pretty beat up. I mean, between what Rylan just did to it and Cat and now you can see that it's forming cracks all over the place.
Did I'm sorry, I was looking at this riddle. Did the 11 hit this
The
guy?
11 did not.
11 did not. And I still have emboldening bond. That's a plus D4, right?
I forgot.
Okay. Then I'll try the Great Weapon Master. See if I can
Alright.
throw some additional damage on here.
Are you looking or not looking to start?
I am looking.
Alright, I need another con save then.
Help me now!
You pass. Alright.
Hell yeah. So,
Through the glare.
first one is going to be Great Weapon Master. Ooh, that's a 21 to hit.
That is a hit.
Alright. Then I'll try another one. Oof!
Also a hit.
Alright. 2 Great Weapon Masters.
18 plus 20
Yeah.
for 38 points of damage total. Oh man. Yeah, great chunks of it are falling off with each swing of your blade.
Alright. Then, Cat is laughing, and that's going to be your turn.
Alright. She's laughing. 7.
So 7 is seriously disappointed this thing is still alive. What are you guys doing?
It will be up next. You can just let it, let it do its thing. Let it actually get to do something this combat. You could just let it do something.
Seven will call out Brimstone, and he grabs hold of the hilt of the blade. You see smoke start pouring from his hand. He points the blade up to the sky. A beam of fiery light comes out of the sword, and then he points it at the thing and he goes, Magma Bolt.
It's very dramatic magma bolt, but it is a hit. 10 points of fire damage. Oh my god. It's still standing! Barely.
That's all I
She's
got.
like Flurry of Blood or something.
Oh man. You know how many hit points it has?
Enough for
One.
mass.
Don't
It
tell
has,
me.
it has exactly one.
Oh, come off it.
I'm not kidding.
Sorry guys, it's my fault. I rolled bad.
It finally gets to take a turn. It gets to do something. Namely, try to pummel some of you into the earth, because that's a thing that it does. Oh my god. It brings one of those crystal arms around. Cat hurt it pretty bad. Nimue stunned it. Let's see. Let's get it. Do another one of those 50-50s. Low is Nimue, high is Cat. It's Nimue. Brings back a pointed crystal arm and just tries to slam it right into Nimue, and it's a natural one.
Oh, and
Nice.
a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack at a target other than you. You can use your reaction to make a melee attack against them.
Alright, make a melee attack.
And it's gonna be
End it.
no crazy stuff going on. We're just smashing it apart.
19 hits, 13 points of slashing damage. And I just want to see how embarrassing this is. That critical failure says if this attack was made with the tail. It wasn't. Okay. So it won't affect it. But what is important is as it went for Nimue, Cat saw her opening, struck with the Melnikov blade, and hewed the crystal arm right off of its shoulder. The cracks in the crystal continue right on up the shoulder, and the entire thing crumbles into a pile of purple amethyst dust. And gradually, over the course of the next few seconds, that awful, unnatural glow fades.
What the hell is going on here? The other one that was standing there, it didn't glow and shatter as well. It was just the one that we fought.
Just the one you fought has actually shattered.
Don't worry.
But did that one start glowing like the same time, or it just didn't glow like that?
No, that one hasn't glowed at all. It's still perfectly statuesque.
Don't worry.
Should we take this opportunity to roll that one off the cliff before it glows and comes awake?
I mean,
That's not a bad idea now.
yeah, I think that's smart.
Well,
You
Naz, that come on.
Like,
Push the thing off the cliff.
Brian,
What?
he's
What-
just this and then just
Zombies,
screams.
yeah.
Brian,
Yeah,
just
no,
turn around like,
I've
are
been
y'all
thinking.
gonna
I've been thinking about the riddle this whole time. Honestly.
if y'all are gonna roll it, because I'm ready to start smacking these
Oh,
things.
wait! And she pulls out a little notepad and she's just like, I think I got it. I think I
Nice
got
job,
it.
Cat.
It was
I've been thinking about it. Yes. Okay. Then. Oh, you. It looks like you all have that covered, don't you? It's not being
Go, non-player minions, go.
They all get together and they shove, and the other one,
Naz will supervise.
the other one, goes tumbling over the side. It's very, very heavy, but zombies are actually kind of strong, so collectively they're able to shove the thing over the side at Safine's order, and it goes crashing down about 20 feet. and you can see that like when it hits the ground, there's a shattering sound, and it does seem that parts of the body are coming apart and are infused with crystal that seems to run right through the flesh. However, it does not come to life and attack you as a crystal monster.
Oh, nice.
Amethyst.
Well,
Very cool.
we need to find out if that's a magical disruption that caused that, or something in here is doing that with everything, and we have to worry about it.
Maybe it was because we rung the bells wrong.
Maybe.
I swear to Eldath, if this ain't the right order,
Hold on. I got it.
What do
I
you
got
got,
it.
Cat? What do you got?
Okay.
I'm ringing these bells. No.
All right. It's elephant, frog, dragon, spider, and snake.
Oh boy.
No?
This is not it, Anthony. I'm throwing Ryland off this bridge.
I'm actually.
Oh, bridge.
Listen, I spent most of that. I swear to God, that's not it.
That's not quite it.
What the fuck?
Man. You guys
I'm about to chuck this fucking thing out the window.
I made
man.
this riddle too hard, huh?
Okay, hold on.
I'm trying mine.
Horn
We're trying
too
one.
vague.
I'm trying
Too
mine.
vague.
Try yours.
So,
Try
here
yours.
we go. Elephant, spider, dragon, snake, frog. That order.
Unfortunately, that's also.
Are you fucking
wrong.
kidding?
I will tell you this. I'll give you big hint.
Let's
Right
wordle
now.
this. Wordle. Which ones are green?
You were Cat was actually very close.
Are you fucking serious?
Cat was very close.
Okay. It's elephant has to be in front, and then
dragon is
the
in the middle.
dragon's in the middle. The frog can't be. Frog can't be in front of the snake, but I thought that maybe it was like a distance thing, but maybe if we swap. Fuck, I don't know. Because the dragon said he'll unfurl his wings, and then cover the smallest ones.
You said, let me take the center.
Let me take the center, but I'll unfurl my wings to cover you wee ones. But I'm not sure if that meant like the smallest creatures or just because he's really fucking big.
Well, the
So-
wee ones, everything except elephant is going to be wee to a dragon.
Right. And the snake also said that he was going to follow the one with many.
I'll follow many.
I'll follow
the
many.
Just I'll follow many. Which is spider.
But many is many capitalized?
Many is capitalized.
Because it's referring to something, right?
Yeah.
Am I, Anthony? Are we talking in circles? What's going on?
I mean, you guys are pretty close. You've almost got it. You just had one thing out of place on yours.
On mine.
Should we? Not gonna switch snake and spider. I don't think.
Because you can't switch frog and snake, because snake can't be right behind frog. Maybe swap snake and spider. So it'd be elephant, frog, dragon, snake, spider.
But the snake has to follow the spider. Spider is mini.
Well, many. Oh fuck! Oh man.
But there's I shan't follow any 4 and 1, so that has to be elephant.
I shan't follow any.
And the dragon says, "Let me take the center."
Wait. Put snake in front, and then swap out.
Snake has to follow mini.
I shan't follow many.
No, I shan't follow any.
Oh, any. Oh, fucking God.
Pull up the fucking riddle on your page.
Oh, my God.
I would allow an intelligence check for a hint.
Cat's a non-native speaker. Don't give her shit, okay?
And we're digging a D4. Oh my god.
Zaychik! Zaychik,
This is not
help!
on par.
We can't solve a riddle meant for children!
Okay,
You get
in
riddles
history
right.
mode, this is the bar. Nothing harder than this.
This is the hardest thing you faced this entire
Oh my god.
adventure.
And I fucking love riddles. I can't figure this fucking thing out. Oh my god, okay. I'll
Can the
follow
frog ride the
any.
dragon?
Holy his none.
The front
I can't follow any, cried foreign nun. Let me take the scepter, said
Roll an
600 pride.
intelligence check, you son of a bitch.
Me?
Yes.
I don't.
You get a D4.
She's thoroughly of average intelligence.
Welcome to the club. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You get a D4 on it. Okay.
12.
12 is enough for a hint.
And we can combine
I'll
it,
say.
so it's really a 21, Anthony. So
We'll combine it. Okay, a good hint.
Ryland and Cat desperately trying to figure out this fucking riddle.
I like to imagine Seven is just floating there scowling.
He already knows
like,
the answer.
just like
yelling
when
at
his
each other.
wife
he
watches
already he already knows the answer. He's just watching.
What's the hint, Anthony? So I can go to sleep tonight.
Okay. Wow, this one's really been bugging you, huh?
It has. Fucking Kevin's been
Okay.
messaging me this whole time about it.
Maybe
So-
the second part of the riddle solves it, and so we actually have to switch elephant and snake. This last shall be first, and first shall be last.
The
What?
you're actually not far off there. You kind of sense that there's two parts to this as you're looking at it, Kat. You have a feeling that you need to solve it in the beginning, but then that last segment is indeed calling for a reversal of what you've already solved.
Oh my god. So then that makes it.
Wait a second. Wait a second. What second part? I've been working with what you.
paragraph in the riddle.
I've been working with what you sent me.
Oh yeah, there's a second part to it.
Motherfucker, Kevin!
Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna put it up here.
Thank you. Alright, the 5 wisdoms went wandering wide, brought forth a light for settle the tide. Forget that was shall, and he well does what to do. Last shall be first, and first shall be last. Okay, then let's just swap them.
Yeah.
So, snake, frog, dragon, spider, elephant.
I think he said reversal. He said full reversal. So I think I don't know. Just
He said, last shall be first, first shall be last. We're swapping, we're going with the riddle.
Okay.
We're going with it.
okay.
And
Yeah.
now Cat is just yelling in Russian.
Somehow
None of what I've been saying has been in English or comment. It's all been in Russian.
somehow you've gotten further away. I don't know.
What? Shut up, Mark.
Okay.
Look at his fucking chat, idiot asshole.
I want to know if any of the others feel like they have solved this, or if they're just sitting here
Is it-
waiting for.
Snake, spider, dragon, frog, elephant.
Let me make
No,
sure
I
have
literally didn't put any effort into it because I was like, Dimension Door?
You're just ready to just bypass the whole thing. So, I mean, you've got the right notion, right? You know that the numbers and the many and none and such are referring to limbs. So you clearly have mastered that concept. And then it's just a matter of ordering them. So the one with none is following many. The one with 4 and 1 is refusing to follow anyone.
Elephant. Elephant is first.
Right.
And then 6 in her pride insists on taking the center.
And then it's a comma. My 2 Ellen first, so you wee ones can hide.
Which is the dragon.
That's
He
the
went
dragon.
silent there for a second. I'm not sure. then woe that I walk before you who was least, said she who was for. Lamps I tempt you to feast. She doesn't. So frog does not want to go in front of spider.
front of Snake.
I'm sorry. I'm in front of Snake.
Okay. And that right there should tell you everyone in their
Oh my god,
position.
so it's elephant, dragon, spider, snake, frog?
No, because the dragon has to be in the middle. In the center.
Yeah, she has to unfurl. She's got the only thing you can unfurl.
And then she's unfurling to cover the smallest ones, which are frog and spider.
Okay, so we switch frog and spider then. So it's elephant, spider, dragon, frog. No, because frog can't be in
No,
front of
because
snake.
that's what I'm saying.
Just because the snake and the spider are following, or like what they call it, all follow many, does it have to be directly afterwards?
Not necessarily, but with the combo of we've got to have
Elephant, frog,
it's
dragon,
triangle
spider,
of
snake.
Spider has to be in front of the snake. Snake has to be in front of frog. So we have those three in a chain, but dragon has to be in the middle of the two smallest. Not necessarily the two smallest, because I guess it's going to be either three of them, but it also says I'll take the center, which is number 3.
We're close. Anthony's already said
You're
that
very
we're-
close.
We're very close.
You're right on the precipice of it. I'll just tell you. I think you're getting hung up on the my two I'll unfurl so you wee ones can hide, and the notion that it's got to be the smallest ones around the dragon.
So
no.
many is the spider, none is the
Right.
snake, 4 and 1 is the elephant.
Yeah.
6, I still think 6 is the
6 is the
dragon.
dragon,
Like,
yeah,
what else
6 is
has
the dragon.
6?
6 is the dragon.
Yeah, because
I mean, assume they're referring to limbs. Like that's the only one with 6 limbs.
Yeah. Well, we've got that down. What we're getting up on is what 6 said. So my 2 all infer, so we once can hide.
And also that they need to be in center.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so here we go, Anthony. So it's elephant, frog. Wait, fuck. No, sorry. Elephant, spider, dragon, snake, frog.
Okay, that's the original order, and then
Wait, that's original order? I mean, that's original order.
there's the modifier at the end, as Kat realizes.
To switch
You gotta swap them. For elephant and the
Make it all backwards.
Do it. I can do it. I don't know what the order is anymore. I'm just
Okay.
Wait, do you swap
Whatever.
only the first and last, or do we change the whole order?
No,
I
no.
don't know.
Hold on.
Just
let
the
me-
first one, the last one.
Because are they talking about like a Q and like you reverse the Q, or are they talking about like
Okay, it's frog, spider, dragon, snake, elephant.
well, it's either that or you're gonna reverse everything.
Yeah.
This is just gonna
Ryland.
be we're getting this.
Ryland, as you ring the 5 in that order, you finally hear a sound. The sound of stone grinding on stone.
All right, what was the final order? I'm gonna write this down because I'm gonna use it in the future.
Forever. Yeah.
Really, you're gonna use this one to
Yeah, I
to
am.
just be awful to people?
Copy and paste,
Apparently.
baby. Yeah. In the sense-
Ryland, for getting the correct order,
No,
I'll give you an inspiration point.
that gives me 2 inspiration points.
Yo, I help, man.
And I'll also put an inspiration point on the line for the first of you who can identify what this is from.
Oh, come on, man. It's E.T. Not E.T. It's a fucking third kind, whatever it is.
Close enough.
Encounters of the third kind? Is that what that
Yeah, whatever. The one with the fucking clay mountain thing.
Close encounters of the third kind.
Yeah, that one.
Here you go.
Oh my
There's
god, that movie was literally on work like a week and a half ago, and I was not paying it any attention.
I thought someone might get it just after hearing the five tones a few times, but nope.
Oh god.
Congratulations. I know that was really, really essential to your well-being going forward.
Anthony, if we didn't solve this, I would have like not left the River Kingdoms. I would have stayed here. I would have
Yeah.
Ryland must ponder the bells for the rest of his days.
as soon as I heard those doors open, I'm fucking running. Ellie's back over here to where I can see them to confirm that they're open.
You fucking run over there and you look and you can see that the doors have cracked open just a hair.
Let's put a pep on our step, people. Let's go.
Let's do it.
It's open.
Nice job, Brent.
All right, you guys heading on over that way?
I don't like the way you said that.
I'm just
Stop saying something in
gonna.
a bad way, Anthony.
What did I say? I didn't say anything bad. I didn't say anything bad.
Be right back.
We all still here, or are we just being quiet?
The latter. Well, both.
Okay.
I'm just making all of your tokens be inside the map. 1 second. Ryland. Him away. Naz we'll put in the back. Cat we'll put right in the middle. 7. And Safine.
That'd be the dragon.
And all of the
That's-
zombies.
Oh, God.
Sunglasses
Now,
of
now,
Persia.
now everything is going to be in like riddles of 5 because we have around 5 people in the bar. We have oh God!
Where'd all those zombies go?
I swear, man, I love riddles, but I fucking hate riddles.
You love to hate.
I love to hate. I'm a bit of a masochist, man. I swear.
All right, there's the zombies. There's everything that's here. And I can bring you into the map now. As you step forward through the open doors opened by your genius, Ryland, you can see that even within here, even within this space, things are not as you left them. It seems that the strange crystal growths that emerge from the ground and from the exterior of the tower have also taken root in here and are protruding from the floor, the walls, the ceiling, jutting out in every direction. And that's not all. That strange, warbling portal, that rift, seems to have expanded just a hair since you were last here. Oh, and I realize now that I did not delete any.
Oh my fucking god.
Just these guys out of here real quick.
Just a little.
It's a tiny
little bigger.
expansion, you know, man. Like,
Not bad.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
This will be fine.
You swear you can almost hear something coming from it, but it's not exactly that you're hearing like a sound. It's more of the inverse of sound, as you realize it seems like this portal is somehow just sucking up, completely dampening noise around it. And the closer you are to it, the more you feel this like overwhelming, oppressive silence of nothingness. And
Oh my god, it's a fucking black hole. Oh, man. Oh no.
unfortunately, it doesn't seem to have obscured the stairwell.
Isn't that convenient? Oh man.
Do we just see the vastness of the astral sea through this thing? Is there anything
When
looking
you
back?
when you look into it, it just seems to be an infinite void of stars and strange cosmic formations. It looks very much like the night sky, although when you peer into it, it is not like any night sky you have ever seen. You don't recognize any constellations or formations or anything like that.
Kato-chan,
Mm-hmm.
we're in deep shit.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
I think we should rush upstairs and then
Good idea.
take the thunderbolt and poke it into the light so this thing can close. If that is possible, for it to be closed now.
We should just go as fast as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you see this road?
Yeah. Oh yeah, this isn't good. This is so not good. Kevin, we're all gonna die.
Now, I know I've been quiet the last couple of seconds, but I think that got bigger, y'all.
Yep. Usagi?
Huh? Oh, look, there's a big outer space bubble.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was in the restroom.
Zaychik, I think we're all going to die.
Oh, okay. Who's got the lighter?
The lighter? What? Oh, the lighter. The lighter. You mean the...
That was the analogy you used.
Yeah, the lighter.
The thunderbolt. Who's got that thing?
Yeah, Jidiji would have returned it to your possession before
I sure hope
departing.
so.
Yeah, you have it, so we gotta go to the rooftop.
No, Jidiji still has it. He never gave it back. And
Okay, all right. Let's leave. Then we gotta solve the riddle again.
Switch up the order.
I hope you guys remember the order. All right, we're not gonna mess with this thing, right? We're gonna head to the rooftop, right?
Yeah, fuck no, we're not touching this thing.
I mean, I don't. Wait, okay, so I mean, this thing has been growing wider. It doesn't look like it's closable at all.
Wait.
does it?
Can we tie a rope around one of the zombies and throw the zombie in?
Throw him. Just to see what happens.
Well, wait, we don't have to do that to a zombie. You could throw something in if you wanted.
Julius?
What about this dead skeleton right here?
Okay, tie a rope to a bone and chuck it in there. See what happens to the rope and the bone. Wait, probably don't want to be in the room when we do that.
Let's just go.
Are you sure you want to feed it?
Let's just go to the roof.
I mean, Seven wants to close it, but I don't think he knows how.
Yeah, let's just go.
So yeah, let's go to the roof.
Roof it is. We'll deal with it if it's still here when we get back. This is what we'd call a 5-minute later problem and not a now problem.
Yeah, don't touch the crystals, by the way.
Yeah.
I heard touch the crystals. Yes.
You do, you cat.
I do everything for you, Zaychik.
Ooh.
Okay. So you guys just book it right for the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
All right. I'll tell you this, Nimue. Since we just discussed this a moment ago, as you start making for the stairwell, carefully avoiding the crystals and this mass of nothingness that radiates stifling silence, you get to about here. And presumably the rest of you are also kind of like shuffling along in that direction. But Nimue, you in particular realize that you're not alone in this room.
No.
Even though you can't see them, you can sense the presence of creatures here, lurking, invisible. Actually, does your blind sight allow you to see invisible things, or to just know that they're present?
See. This shouldn't be
It
that
says
bad.
you can see invisible creature within that range.
You can see it. Okay. In that case, right. In that case, you can see exactly what it is. It is one of those gray-skinned creatures. Looks amphibious, sort of like the ones outside, but it's much smaller, and it is lurking just sort of under the stairwell, right about here, right at the edge of the portal. And this one, unlike the others, is moving. It's breathing and watching you intently with slitted eyes.
She'll hold a hand backwards towards the others, and she'll say, "Wait. To my 1 o'clock. There's something there."
When you say to your 1 o'clock, is that if you were pointing north or as you're looking at us now?
It's just fuck it. I'm gonna.
Actually hear her saying this.
You know what, I'm gonna run up there and I'm gonna attack it.
All right. The creature is watching you, so it's not 100% surprised when you charge at it suddenly. Go ahead. You said you're gonna. Did you say you're gonna tackle it?
Punch him.
Punch him. You're just going right for the punch. Okay. Punch to the face. Give me an attack roll.
Right, exactly.
All right, that is a hit. Let's see
Nice.
some damage.
My peacemaker.
Magical.
9 points bludgeoning. Absolutely lovely. It is magic damage, so it doesn't even matter if it resists non-magic damage. It takes 9 points to the face and lets out a somewhat startled hissing sound.
Since he is like right at the edge, could I know I already like punched, but it kind of would be awesome to like grab him and throw him like away from the maybe like even right there. Maybe
Well, let's handle it this way. Why don't you give me an initiative roll and let's see if you can get a shove in before the thing can react. And I will also give it a concentration check to see if it can maintain its invisibility. Apparently not. So you punch it so hard that it loses its concentration, and then poof, the rest of you can see it as well.
nice.
Which means the rest of you can get in on this initiative roll if you so desire.
That's right. That's right.
Nope, I'm mentally worn out.
You're mentally worn out from solving a riddle.
Listen,
That
I lived a
was-
simple life. I didn't go to some fancy academy like Sir Seven did.
Yes, a simple life. I only had 2 butlers instead of 3.
Yeah, sure. That'll, you'll end up pretty cobbled from 3 butlers, but not 2.
Had to do without a little, you know.
You know, I only had 2 ponies when I was growing up
Yeah.
instead of 5.
Demo and another demo.
Yes. The first one was named D. How did you know?
Dima.
That was Dima 1 and then Dima 1.5.
No.
But just
No,
for you,
that's okay.
Ryland, the next one is going to be named Ryland.
Something named it before Dima like Roach.
Please don't ride Ryland.
I didn't even think about that. That's actually funnier. I am definitely going to name it Ryland now.
Okay. I think it's about high time we get this going. Sorry for that delay. And 7. This thing is pretty swift to respond, but you are swifter. So, are you going to do anything, or are you just going to watch it again?
I think he may be in the bathroom.
He may be in
Maybe.
the. Did he disappear again? Let's see. All right, we'll come back to him in a second. Unfortunately, it is going to move.
Oh, there he is.
Oh no!
Like, nope, it's not doing anything.
7. You have the highest initiative. So, what do you do as this thing pops into existence?
Oh my gosh, what do I do? Oh my gosh. I didn't see this thing like teleport or Misty Step the last time we fought or anything like that, right?
I don't remember, in all honesty.
I don't remember either. Okay.
I will say no. You did not see it do either of those things.
Is the ground here made out of stone?
It is.
I have no idea if this is gonna work, but I've always wanted to try it and see what happens. So 7 is going to rush up, and as he rush up, he's going to pull a thorn out of his coat. It's one of his daggers, and he's just going to jab it into the ground right beneath this thing's feet, and he's going to. Did I click it?
I don't see anything.
As Thorn hits the ground, the stone pops out and forms into two shackles that cover this thing's feet, linking it with the stony ground.
Nice.
In shape mineral. Interesting. You can for it, a shape that suits your purpose. Can have up to 2 hinges and a latch, but finer mechanical detail isn't possible. Okay, I guess you could form some shackles right out of the
Yeah,
ground.
well, I just want the stone to come just
Up
make a
over
loop
its
around
legs.
its ankles, kind
Yeah,
of thing.
hold its feet in place. That's pretty nifty. It is instantaneous. Let's see.
I mean, I have no idea if it's gonna work, but this spell doesn't say you can't. Like some spells say you can't trap a creature with it, but
Right,
this
it
spell
doesn't say
doesn't.
anything like that. The only thing I'm trying to decide is if I should give it some sort of saving throw, a chance to avoid that, or if it should just trigger. It's a 4th level spell.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. It's a heck of a precedent to set.
It can jump back into the portal to avoid it.
Well, if you want to call it like it needs a save, that's fine. I'm not gonna argue. I mean, I've
Yeah.
never tried this before, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it's fair to say that there should be a saving throw. I think most of the time, if there's some sort of harmful potential effect, it's either an attack roll for damage or the creature gets a saving throw to avoid.
Right. So like a deck save maybe or something.
Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna completely negate the spell for you attempting to do it, but I will, just like most spells, I will modify the severity of it. So it will have some effect no matter what. But let's give it
I think
a
it's
dex saving throw.
DC 17.
You're
Yeah,
normally
DC
17? All right, it'll make a dex saving throw. It does have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. I'm gonna say that that's not really gonna apply here because I don't know. It's just ground coming up. It's not like it's getting hit with a spell. So I will at least give you that one. So it's just a straight dex save. Here we go. It's a failure. All right.
Nice.
Had it succeeded, I would have said that you only get a partial hold on it and it's effectively grappled in place. But since it is a abject failure, I'm going to say you've done one better than that, and the stone has come shooting up its legs and effectively restrained it.
Oh, awesome. Seven, as he slaps the ground, he says, "Why don't you hang out with us for a while?" And then he's gonna back up so other people can uh, can get close. I don't know if that's an up attack. She can take one.
It will indeed take one.
I guess I don't know. It's a she. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, it's probably a she. It looks like a she, from what you can tell, Seven. It will take an op attack. Gonna lash out with some claws here. Oh boy, let's get that roll. It's just a 10.
All right. I guess that's my turn.
All right. Well, it will take its turn now. And it doesn't seem thrilled with the things that are happening. So, it is going to respond by blowing you all up.
Oh.
Well, that's just fucking rude. Why does everything you have blow up, Anthony?
I mean, you fought these guys before. You know what they can do.
Listen, that was a bad day for me. I don't remember anything about this tower.
If it's casting a spell, I'm gonna counterspell it.
Alrighty. Counter spell. It was indeed casting a spell. And since it is a third level spell, you can simply negate that. Boom. It's Fireball, which was beginning to appear just behind you, Seven, snuffs out of existence. Nimue, it's your turn.
Suppose I'll draw my rapier and take a couple stabs.
You are advantaged here since it's restrained, so that is a hit. 6 points of piercing.
Always got my colossal. That was good.
Does it have... I forget, does it have a resistance? No, not like that. Alright. That is 14 points of damage. 26 will hit, of course. Another 8. Up to 22.
I'll go ahead and I'll spend a key point in Flurry of Blows to do 2 more.
Okay.
And 1 point make 2 unarmed strikes. Blam. Ah, no.
Ay. Well, it comes and it goes, right? Critical hit is going to be...
Are we still within the 10 minutes of emboldening bond, by chance?
Yeah.
D4 then. D4. You guys forget your D4s.
Okay.
I gotta say D4 every
Yeah.
time. Y'all just forget.
Ooh, man. Okay, so on the natural 20, your critical is a battered shoulder. You hit this thing hard right in the shoulder and deal maximum damage. So go ahead and... What is your...
It's a... Let's see what it is.
It is a
It's a
D6. So it's a total of 9 damage on your critical hit there. And then it is a natural 1. Let's flip to the other deck. Nimue. You get a cramp! You take a 1d4 penalty on your next attack roll.
Okay. And I think I'm gonna move as well to let some people get in. I think I'm just going to move up the stairs a little bit.
Okay, the bottom of the stairs is actually right here.
Oh, my bad. Well then, I'll go ahead and do a little disengage, like 7. Or not well, I'm just gonna step away. He can attack me if he wants.
He will attempt to attack you. It won't go well for him since he is at disadvantage thanks to being restrained. He's gonna try and just, claw at you. It's still a 22 to hit. Lashes out reflexively 9 points of damage as you back away. Alrighty, that puts us at Safine.
I'll leave one spot for you. Anybody who can't get in there. But I figured if it's gonna grab and pull anything backwards, you might as well grab and pull the zombies back into the space. If it's gonna commit suicide. I'm gonna attack with the 2 zombies. The third one won't make it because it has to push through. So 1 second. I just grabbed 7's thing. It would get to here. That's roll 20. I don't want roll 20. I want D&D Beyond. And it's advantage, right?
It is advantaged. Okay, well, we got another critical hit. Oh, and you've gone ahead and pulled it out. Very good. Let's see. Get that somewhere a little more legible. It was bludgeoning. Wait, that's the same. That's the same one. Hang on, let's get a fresh one. There we go. Bludgeoning damage. Ooh, tenderizer. Quadruple damage, and the target becomes
Nice.
vulnerable to bludgeoning damage for 1 minute. What did the zombie do to it? God, that is brutal.
You know what happened? Is that zombie came up to it, and not only did it start hitting on it, but just started retching black ichor all over it.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
And-
can you give me an additional let's see, an additional 2d6 there? We've already got 7 from your attack, and let's just add another 2d6 to that. Another 5.
It's vulnerable too, so that's double, right?
I don't think it's intending it to do that, because that would be 8 times damage, which is just
I know, right? Isn't that
stupid. But I do think
Gotcha.
it will now effectively be vulnerable to bludgeoning for the entire rest of the fight. So
right? And I'm just gonna
12 points of damage. And then you viciously mock it.
Witty.
All right, you say something witty, and it has
Yeah,
to
it's not going to do it now.
make a wisdom saving throw. Really? Can cast fireball, but it's not very good at wisdom saves, apparently. Oof. Consider it mocked. Although I will say one thing to you, Safine. As you go to step over there, you bump into something that you can't see.
Can I do I am I able to say that out loud in my turn?
Sure.
We got another one over here. Nimue.
And go ahead and give me the damage on that that vicious mockery as well.
That 1d4.
Yep. Another point.
All counts.
Oh, you know what? Oh, it did have advantage on the vicious mockery, but it doesn't matter because it rolled terribly. Naz is up.
I guess Naz is wait. Safine, did you point out where the other creature was?
Where did I hit it? Did I hit it like right here?
Yeah, as soon as you went to move, you bumped into something almost immediately.
Did you point?
Yeah. Go make some salad over here.
No, I mean, did Safine point it out?
Yeah, he's pinging
I
it on
mean-
that.
He walked over there and said, "Oh," and then said, "There's another thing."
I couldn't walk because I literally couldn't occupy that space.
Oh, that one. Okay. All right. Cool. If they are doing that, then Naz is going to go and blindly start swinging because she doesn't like creatures like that. But yeah, she's just going to start blindly swinging at that little square right there.
All right. Go for it with disadvantage. Make 2 swings. Hey. Well, unfortunately, with swinging blindly into the area, she just
Bet they both get a D4
Oh, yeah.
because I have to remind you every time.
Boop.
I want to be that guy.
So that's a 15 and 18.
All right. Ryland has emboldened Naz to be bold with her strikes, and so the second one actually connects with something. 12 points of slashing damage, and
All right.
a concentration check for this critter. Maybe it will just fail terribly as well.
Hopefully it does.
Not this time. You hit something and there's like a spray of bluish blood, but but you still don't see the source.
Okay. That's all. That's gonna be everything from Naz.
All right.
Naz is gonna wipe her face with the blood. Say something,
baby.
Say something edgy. I'm sure.
Okay, invisibility. Let me double check invisibility. All right. You are all going to see a reddish glow begin to illuminate in the air, right in the midst of you.
Don't like that.
Let me just. Oh, naughty. That's not the right size. Just double check my template. Oh, it's still not the right size. Too small. Okay, there we go. Oh. That's juicy. A fireball explodes right in front of Ryland and Safine. I'm going to need dexterity saving throws from all of you as the spell goes off and a creature suddenly becomes visible.
Remember,
Ooh.
Nimue, Cat, Naz, and myself get +4.
Everyone gets to fail. Yeah, don't forget your D4s. You might need them.
So mine's a 15.
Cat was a nat or a nat 1.
Yeah, she's not getting out of this.
Naz is a 19.
We're gonna go top to bottom here with these rolls.
Let's see. Cat. Naz got a what you said?
19.
Okay. And it has a DC. Alright.
Ooh.
That's on
Naz is okay. Nimue doesn't even care. Ryland
15.
is okay. Naz is okay. 7's not. And neither is Cat. Safine is okay. The zombies.
I don't know what
okay.
I don't know what the dex save is, but I clicked the wrong thing the first time. It should be a +8, so I got a 14. I don't know if that's enough, but
You do. You have a +8 on Dex. Oh, that was probably just a dexterity check and not your saving throw.
Yeah,
I did it by accident. So,
Okay.
but I don't. If a 14 doesn't save, it doesn't
A
matter.
14 is a pass.
Okay, cool.
So everybody passes except for Cat. Everybody takes half damage except for Cat.
Naz, Cat was just still thinking about that fucking riddle. It's caught unawares. Because the D&D gods decide to. Oh fuck! All right.
30 points of fire damage to Cat. 15 to everyone else except the zombies. I think. Did they both fail?
There goes Cat's jacket again.
1 zombie failed. 2 zombie failed.
At this point, you might as well take it off.
Kaboom! Kaboom!
They're gone. I'm just happy to slide their humanoid.
All right. This one has revealed its presence in a big way with a big boom. And now it is Ryland's turn.
Okay. Okie dokie now. Ryland is gonna make his way up the stairs some. He's gonna lean over that railing. And he is gonna fire off another one of those. He was impressed with his last one. And he impressed himself. So impressive, he's gonna just do it again. Plus D4. So an 18.
18. That is a hit. 16 radiant damage as you blast out and hit the thing. Radiant. It's all good. It all goes through. 16, didn't like that.
And that's gonna be it for me. It for me.
And bringing up the end of initiative is Cat.
Shaken out of her like stupor of thinking about this riddle, she's going to first you see her eyes start to kind of glow slightly red, and as does her sword as she draws it and slams like charges between these two, just barely making it to this. It was this guy who launched a fireball, right?
That's the one.
All right, we're gonna. If she could go reckless, she would, but I don't have that, so she's gonna go great weapon master and start swinging. Both 19s? Without
both
the
19s, both hits.
All right. Oh, I forgot to turn that off. My bad.
So I don't see no 19s. It's lying.
Yeah.
All right, that should be 25 on the first hit, then 26 on the second hit.
Oof. That's a lot of damage. That's 51 points of damage.
Cat's pissed. But that's all she's gonna do this round.
Alrighty. 7. Top of the round. It's you.
Ooh, it's me?
It's you!
Great. Yeah, I guess this one that's restrained, I'll come up and I will pull out. Seven will pull out. Oh, maybe I should. I don't know if it helps. Yeah, I guess I'll start the blade song. Why not? And then I'll pull out cupcake, and I guess some thunder. Just won't even make sense. Yeah, that's okay. Some thunder energy creeps up the blade. He's gonna take a swing.
Take the swing.
Is this one still restrained?
It is still restrained. The attack is at advantage. Oof. Alright, that hits 9 points of piercing damage. It's just
It's gonna take some thundery damage here too. As soon as I figure out how to roll it.
The piercing damage is just normal damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the thundering energy shoots down the blade, engulfs this creature. I assume this is what's it called?
Booming blade, yeah.
Booming blade, yeah. Okay. Strikes out. That one's actually appropriately named. But hits the thing and hurts it a little bit. Although you notice, Seven, that it doesn't seem to be particularly bothered by the vibrations that go running along its skin.
Well, that's unfortunate. But seeing as how I'm already here, I'll just take another attack at it.
All right. Swinging in a second time. 16 is a miss. Oh, yeah, even with advantage, that is a miss, though, as the thing manages to get its arms up and block your swing.
Well, that's a bummer. But I'm just gonna stay here next to it.
All right. You stay right next to it. It snarls at you and utters some words in a strange, slurping tongue
That I understand.
that you understand. Do you still understand?
Yeah, tongues is good for an hour.
Okay. And it's not concentration or anything?
Not.
Okay. In that case, you understand it's saying,
You will not stop us. The way is open.
Push it in. Push it in. Okay.
And it is going to take its turn. It's already watched 7 perform magic. Didn't like that. Anyway, it can try and get around the counterspell. I mean, I suppose it can do... Well, no, that'll get counterspelled too. Yeah, it knows these things. So it is going to simply try to slash out at 7 with its claws.
Okay, it's a 21 AC.
21 AC. Alright, here comes a bite. Chomp. Ooh. It is disadvantaged. I forgot that because it is restrained. So you simply back away from it as it critically fails itself. Critically fails at existing. And it's befuddled. It cannot take reactions until the start of its next turn. So it will just slash and slash. Oh, that one actually gets through.
Oh, yes it does.
And will deal 11 points of slashing damage. Do you concentrate on the shape metal, or is that not an issue? Or sorry, the shape earth?
That's a good question. Is that
No, I don't think you do because it's instantaneous. Yeah, once it's done, it's done. Alright, it will slash again at disadvantage, and this time come nowhere close. But it did manage to nick you, and it's all done. It has no reactions until the end of its next turn. Nimue, you're up.
Did it say that it's changed the ground?
It's basically got like earth, stone that has just worked its way up its legs and is basically holding it in place up to its knees.
Then I'm going to come up and rush it. And I'll attack twice. First I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark, and then I'll attack twice with Rapier.
Alright, Hunter's Mark goes up. 18 is a hit. 8 points of piercing, halved. Hunter's Mark is not halved.
And Colossus.
That is a total of 10.
And then second one.
Second one is a hit. Halved again.
6.
But the Hunter's Mark adds on to that. Alright.
Wait. Isn't she hitting it with bludgeoning?
She's hitting it with a rapier right now. Although that is a good point.
And she got Colossus Slayer too.
I know I like the Colossus and the Hunter's Mark.
You're chipping away at it.
I wish that Flurry of Blows wasn't a bonus action. I think that's all the damage I can do this turn.
Alright. Go in, give it 2 quick jabs, and hit it pretty hard on each one, although its thick hide is still resisting your weapon.
And since it has no reactions, I guess I'll take a step back.
By all means. It can only watch you and hiss. Savine, your zombies are dead again.
Yes, they are. Well, they were always dead.
Dead again.
The one that cat is facing?
Yep.
Must consistent at least.
Kaboom, boom, boom.
3 ones in a row. And then everybody but Safine. Big 8 temp hit points, and if you want to, move without provoking opportunity attacks, feel free to do so. You can move your entire movement.
Okay, Naz is gonna do that.
Very nice. Your allies reposition.
And
Get bolstered.
that's gonna be my turn. I think I'm in a good spot.
Just hanging out. Naz.
Naz is probably going to say something like
Wait
I
from
see you
teleportation
now.
induce.
And plus a d4 on that 16. So 18 and 23. Or, yeah, 26 and 18.
A 26 and an 18 both land. Both deal
18 points.
18 points. Halved will be 9.
Hell yeah.
Hacking in. This one is looking pretty bloody and beaten up. I mean, they both are at this point, but especially with those 2 blows, this one's looking rough. But
Cat
that
really wants it dead.
won't stop it, though, from uttering more words, which Ryland will recognizing to say,
Our coming is inevitable now.
and it is going to begin casting a spell.
Which one is casting a spell?
The one way over here.
You mean none of them?
You mean no one is casting a spell?
Is somebody using a counter spell?
Yeah, I am. I'm just trying to scroll to it.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to need you to give me a check. Caster level check.
Ooh.
It is a big spell.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, what do I roll for this?
I believe it is just a straight roll with your spell ability, or your caster ability.
Using...
So just my int?
Just your int. Yep. That is not enough to stop this one.
No!
You try to stifle its magic, but it continues to utter words and forms a shape around itself. A circle, not unlike the great circle of void beside you. And it takes a little half step back and steps into this circle.
With the half
And
step
disappears.
for a opportunity attack?
No, it doesn't leave your reach.
God damn it.
It simply disappears. 7, you are versed enough in magic to realize that was no invisibility spell.
Yeah, it's like the brimstone gate thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Door, dimension door. Is that what it did?
It's gone. And it is Ryland's turn.
Oh, if he's gone, I'm gonna target the other one. This time he's gonna give him a good old finger gun when he shoots off his guiding bolt. Ooh, 16.
That's 16, which is not a hit until you are emboldened, which then makes it a hit.
It started to sputter on this hand, so I gave him the double guns.
You can just imagine his magic being like, it's like kind of half going, and then he gets it going and blasts it out. It's just, sometimes it just takes a little while to get going, that's all.
Jesus.
And as it's flying, I'm a partner. I think it's best time you go back where you came from.
Alright, 14 points of damage. It's hurting. It's hurting more than it ever has, but it is still kicking. Ekaterina.
I actually had to look at the sword and its effects to make sure I could do this. But okay, let's see how far that is. All right, I'm just gonna fucking enraged I couldn't hit the other guy. I'm gonna run, fucking sprint straight for the other guy and try to kill him instead.
Okay. Try to kill him.
Yep. Let's go great weapon mass. Fuck it. Plus a d4 on each.
Yeah.
So that's a 16.
First one is a
And
miss.
then a 20. No, I'm sorry.
It's a
That
16.
neither. It's a 16. Yeah.
The first one is a miss. 14. Isn't that the first one's a 17, but it's still a miss.
Huh?
14,
No.
and then you added 3, right?
No, the first one was like a.
Oh no, you're attacking at advantage because you're attacking that one.
You're
Oh,
advantaged.
I am.
First point is first one's a miss, second one's a hit.
Cool.
Swing, 2 quick strikes. It dodges the first, but not the second, as it takes 23 points of slashing damage. And is spewing blue blood everywhere. But it is not dead.
Fucking god.
7 once
7,
again.
kill this thing.
You are the only thing between an enemy and its turn.
Seven takes out Brimstone and twirls it around like a baton, and then uses it to braid his hair, and then casts Magma Bolt.
Magma Bolt! You'll want to roll with advantage.
Alright, I'll just roll it again.
It looks a lot better the second time. I'll use that first damage roll. It's 7 points of fire, and 7, to your consternation, you realize that it is apparently resisting that as well.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's still alive.
Damn it.
Well, I mean, I could run up and stab it too, I guess.
Right, try that.
Fuck it, do it, please.
See if you can stab through its piercing
kill this
resistance
thing.
as well.
Yeah, I don't know that it's gonna do much, but alright, I'll try to stab it.
Finish this thing off. You get uncomfortably close to that void once again. You can feel that like everything is just fading to utter silence as you approach it.
But don't worry, you're comfortably close to cat. So
You're
it's
comfortably close to the cat. And in near silence, just like a slight sound, Cupcake slides into this thing's gut. 12 points of piercing damage is actually quite impressive, but still not enough to bring it down.
Yeah! Well,
These things are hardy
7.
bastards.
7 twists the blade on the way out and grunts.
Quick, move away, make Cat the only target. He still can't take reactions.
That's true, I can do that.
Do that.
I'll back up a little.
All right, wisdom there. It's going to take its turn. It's barely clinging to life as it begins mumbling more words. And once again, Ryland understands. This thing doesn't know that Ryland understands. It just
I spoke
begins.
to him in his language.
Oh, did you? What did you say to him?
The partner, I don't know where you came from, but you best be getting back.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's kind of inclined to agree, as he looks at you, Ryland, and slurps out. The others will deal with you. As he begins to cast the same spell as the previous one.
We got to dungeon crawl the way up this tower.
You got another counterspell in the can, or you even gonna bother
No,
trying to
but
stop this
I
one?
want to see how he steps into the gate when he's restrained.
That's a good question. Yeah,
He's gonna fall back.
he's just going to.
Seven's just grinning at him like, "Go for it, dude. Make your portal."
He's going to make his portal. And he's going to do it.
This time he makes the portal above his head, and then he just brings his hands down and brings it down like a little hula hoop over his body.
What is this Warner Brothers shit? Come on, you can't use magic like that.
That's not how magic
Like
works.
fucking Bugs Bunny monsters.
Oh.
and he's gone.
This son of a bitch.
I know.
I would allow an Arcana check to identify the magic that they just cast, if you're
Yeah,
so.
I am very curious. I will do that for sure.
Am I able to identify
I mean,
this language?
Did they roll did the magic that got cast, because I've been here, did it require a roll on their part or no?
It did not require a roll that you saw.
Okay.
There's no like. Right, that's a game. That's a game mechanic, but I don't know if you would see a representation of that anyway necessarily. However, 7. That's enough for you to realize that was some potent magic, and it did not simply dimension door itself elsewhere. It actually momentarily opened up a rift of its own into an entirely different plane.
Wow.
Yeah, that's planar magic is impressive.
Good thing he's gonna
Well-
bump into our void spiders we've been keeping as pets that we didn't tell you about.
That's right.
Look, we're lucky. All it did was throw a fireball at us. If it's got access to power like that.
Yeah. That's super fun.
I mean, Cat, it was telegraphed.
I'm sorry, what? Let me put out my jacket.
Like a light singe on them.
Let me just put myself out real quick.
You should really.
Fucking-
I don't know if they teach you, but the procedure at the monastery is to stop, drop,
The drop
and
and
roll.
then roll.
Because you don't have to worry about the hands putting out, because the ground will put it out. And especially in here, because it's like cold stone.
She continues to just keep patting herself down.
Let's see some disco. Oh, okay, fine.
I don't
Were
know
you
if this
were
is
you
the type
talking
of
to
thing.
your sword or talking to me?
I wasn't actually sure either.
We better hurry. We have to go close the ghostlight portal things. Let's go.
I thought that was just a funny name for your sword that she's saying as you guys we're all walking.
Disco?
up here.
You don't know what disco is?
I don't know what disco is.
Uncultured beasts.
I know.
We have a disco on Friday nights at the monastery. You'd be surprised at the dances some of those old folks will do.
Do you think they'd let me join?
Everyone's welcome at the Naila Monastery.
We all have to go disco.
Sorry, we didn't play a lot of disco at the chamber.
Alrighty.
I guess I'm the only one who doesn't know what disco is. Whatever.
I mean, I've
The
never
only
really
one that
discoed
doesn't know what a
before.
lot of things are, Cat.
I don't know it. Listen, your language is so fucking
We are
confusing
gonna
sometimes.
take you to a library.
Teach cat.
Okay.
And on that note, as the group of you climbs the stairs, admonishing Kat for her lack of understanding of a foreign language,
Thank you, Anthony.
Saved by the bell.
Yeah.
Ooh, stop recording.
Oh fuck.